Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 95 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
And I'm the supreme leaders, or I should say ladies, number 3 henchwoman.
See, I knew you were going to say that.
Yoke.
Okay.
Lady Supreme.
Oh my gosh. This episode is sponsored by Swish and Fick. Shout out to Lacey and Jess. Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go check them out if you haven't.
Yes.
They're super cool.
Go check them.
They've compiled so many fics. It's a good time.
So many fics. Today, we will be discussing chapter 24 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Rita Skeeter's Scoop of Ice Cream. So make sure that you've read the chapter and you're ready to transfigure your way into the details. Before we begin, let's go to Megan for some weekly profit news.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
I tried.
Did you like your scoop of ice cream?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'll read whatever's on the teleprompter.
All right. So,
One shot.
Wait. What's this about?
this is
Tell
okay.
me. Just go ahead.
So there was an announcement that Pottermore and Warner Brothers were combining and launching a new website. So they have officially launched wizardingworld.com.
.net.
.com.
So you can, it's not really, I mean, like,
It's like not any different.
still in the beginning stages
Yep.
of whatever it is they're envisioning.
There's
It's
nothing
really
there.
not any different. All that's there is you can log in and you can connect your Pottermore profile, and then you get like a Wizarding World passport.
Yes.
And it tells you your house, and then they allow you to pick like some of your favorite things, and you can create these little like graphics to post on social media of like your Potter passport, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it like brings over your Patronus and your wand and all of that kind of stuff.
What did I
couldn't switch over my original account because I never got the email to be like, here's your verification number. So now my Patronus on Wizarding World is a Sparrowhawk and not a Vol.
Oh, nice.
Since I have multiple
Haven't you
accounts.
gotten a Sparrowhawk before?
honestly-
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh, you connected a different account.
Yes, my original account that had the Vol never got, like, it wouldn't give me the
You
email.
need to like do it again. You need like
I enjoy a Sparrowhawk.
So
I'm cool with it.
officially mine is a white stallion. I'm coming to terms with it. I guess I'm okay with it. But deep down, it's still a fox. Know what I mean?
I mean mine says osprey, but no, it's a fox.
So,
Mine's really
I have
Cookie
fox,
Monster.
like tendencies. No, but I like the little new crests.
I
think
like
they're
the design.
cute.
You know what? I didn't even look at mine.
it's cute.
Yeah.
How would you know? You're not a Ravenclaw. You're not the best house
Because
ever.
I've seen all of them
See 'em
because
all.
I went into our group and I posted my little graphic, and then a ton of people posted
Oh, I should post mine.
underneath. So this kind of goes in. This isn't in this article that I found, but there is a lot of talk going around the internet about what is to come with Wizarding World.
Yeah, people on Twitter were up in arms.
Well, I think
And I don't blame them.
I think part of
I
it
get
though
it.
is that like everything is
Ooh.
changing a little bit,
I just had an idea.
and nobody likes change. Yes.
Is this like her encyclopedia coming to life?
Okay, but give it to me in print form.
Yeah, but she's not gonna. I don't know
then-
how much
So,
she's
okay,
gonna
well,
use that
let's
anymore.
tell
you guys.
people what
Or-
we're talking about. Hold on. So what is going around the internet is that wizardingworld.com is going to have like a monthly membership fee that you can pay, and you'll get access to different things, whether that is events or information or specific merchandise, all that kind of stuff. So it like gives you access to that. And we're assuming it's going to be like a monthly fee. That's what people are mad about. They think it's a money grab.
How
I mean,
much?
they're not wrong,
how
though.
much stinking content are you gonna throw at me for me to pay you monthly?
Yeah,
I want to know
better
how
be worth
much.
it.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to. There's
Well, because I think that there's like a lot on Pottermore, and the thing is like, is this going to be canon? Is everything
here's
that's coming
the
out of
thing.
Wizarding World, is that JK approved? Do you know what I mean?
of the things
Or are
that
they
are
just joking
on
us?
Pottermore. How much of that is like really good content? Do you know what I mean? Stuff that we didn't already know, backstories and stuff. 30% max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even a lot of those blanks aren't even filled in. Now, whether or not you're going to fill them in for me as Fantastic Beasts continues, I don't know. Maybe we'll know when McGonagall was born. I don't know. But I don't know. Like, I just don't know how you're going to keep amping this
How
up.
are you going to keep me
monthly.
paying?
Correct.
How are you going to keep me interested in paying you monthly?
Like, am I streaming things from this? Are you trying to do one of those?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing their own streaming service. Are
Yeah,
you going
but,
to put the movies on here?
Wouldn't you think that, like, if it's Warner Brothers, they would do, like, a whole Warner Brothers
So-
thing? Aren't
Yeah, but
they?
what
I
else
heard
do they
that they
have?
might. So this is what I heard might be included in this subscription.
I am not about this life
The
unless they come out with like some
ebooks.
kind of show.
It would be the ebooks, it would be the potentially the audiobooks, and it would be the movies, I believe, would
But-
be included in this that
That-
you would like have access to.
But
But
I
like
don't-
I have all of that already.
Yeah.
Like, all the real, I shouldn't say real fans, but like, a lot of us already have all of that. Like, I have no interest in the audiobooks. It's just not something that, like, I myself don't listen to audiobooks, so I have no need for them. Other people already have them. You know what I
I
mean?
love them, but like I've already purchased them, so
Correct.
it means nothing to me.
I don't need the movies. I have
Right,
them all.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
I don't
unless
need any
you're
more
gonna-
books. I have 1,000 copies of them. You know what I mean?
So unless you're going to give me something that's going to make me go, ooh, I can connect a dot here every month, then no.
I mean, have you ever
And not
signed
only
up?
that, there's 4 of us sitting at this table, and we get together and talk Potter all the time. One of us can be a member.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
there's
what I mean?
no
Or
way.
Swish and Flick can
Swish
be
and Flick.
Right.
And like the thing too with
But
all of this,
but that's like, how much are they going to charge for this? Do you
Well,
know what I mean?
That's what I'm
If
wondering.
it's
too.
$20 a month, you better be shelling some info out.
what are
Yeah.
you giving
Yeah.
me? You know what I mean? Like, are you giving me content every single month, like a new story about someone?
I'm
But
here for
is
that.
it going to be good? Like,
Who's
are you
gonna write
gonna
it?
Be
I don't
working-
want. I'm sorry,
I don't
Pottermore.
want side
I don't
writers.
Yeah, I don't want your writers.
JK.
I
Well,
want
she doesn't write a lot of the stuff on Pottermore.
I know.
If we're being honest.
because the ones that she does write is like, ooh, from Joe. And
Well,
it's like,
and or it says at
all
the
of this should be
end-
anyway.
So Ilvermorny, McGonagall's backstory, the stuff that's in those little ebooks that she gave us, that's all her original
Mm-hmm.
content, and all the stuff from Ilvermorny and like the other schools, and that's like it really that's on there.
Well,
That's
and
hers.
every once in a while in those articles at the very end, you'll have maybe
Yeah,
a
yeah,
paragraph
yeah.
that are like J.K. Rowling's thoughts on this, you know. And I mean, I think she like approves everything, like she did with Cursed Child. Like if
But
she's
does
like,
she?
I just don't.
I don't
You know
know
how
That's my
busy
thing.
she
That's what I'm
is,
saying.
like-
I think she needs
approve.
to hang up Mr. Galbraith's coat and just be herself again.
Well, but
I want her. I want our Marauders. I want other stuff. Like
I
you don't
get
need
that.
to give me Harry anymore. I know that's done, but I just.
But at the same time, like I would rather her be a happy artist and like writing what she wants to write,
No,
and not give me
she's-
any more. Like
she's
just
ours.
Like, you know what I mean?
Just-
Like don't come at me with this whole new platform and give me like quantity over quality. I don't care if you're giving me something every month if it's not something I'm enjoying and I don't want it. Like don't give me information. You're just like here's some information, throwing it at me. I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also feel the need here to defend Joe a little bit in this, though, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's a money grab. Guys, she does not need any money. Okay.
gives tons of
She
money
gives
away.
her money
Does
away.
not need money. Do not say that this is a money grab on her end. This is Warner Brothers. Okay. This is not J.K. Rowling. This is Warner Brothers. They own a lot in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
They run Universal. They run the movies. I mean, any money that she gets in now, she donates to Lumos. I mean, she has her own charities and she gives to other charities too for MS and that kind of stuff. Like, she doesn't need more money. So don't call
Well-
her greedy. It's not her, it's Warner Brothers.
And if you think about it, anytime you've ever heard of like they're coming after like smaller people, like because they're talking about Harry Potter or they're doing something Harry Potter, it's never J.K. Rowling that's
No,
coming
it's
after them.
Warner
It's always
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that are like, you have to stop. Like, here's your cease and desist. Like, you can't do anything Harry Potter related. You can't call it Harry Potter. You can't do that. You can't do this. It's always them, not her.
they have told us for our Etsy shop that we can't sell the house scarves because that is copyright infringement.
I'm sorry, you don't own colors.
You don't own a red and yellow striped scarf, Warner Brothers.
I guess.
I mean,
How do you find out these things? How do they contact you?
they send you a message through Etsy. So
They-
we've just changed like how you search for it. And like thankfully now the people that want it know how to find us because of Swish. but like we can't like have it.
They'll literally
searchable.
take it down for you and then send you a message and be like,
I'm sorry, you don't own colors, Warner Brothers. Like, I love you, but come on.
I mean, first of all, the pattern that my mom does isn't even the ones that they sell at Universal. She has her own pattern.
And how about you make, let me speak, and I know
Better
that all-
quality product.
All the people that are Ravenclaws, I hate, and I don't like to use that word. And I, like, literally, when I was at Target the other day and I saw that there was a journal that had not a silver bird on it.
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't. I almost did. I'm like, I should have bought it.
You're an idiot.
But like when you keep giving me merch that's not the correct book colors because whomever decided when they were making the movies that it looked better, it drives me insane.
So let the Etsy people make stuff correctly for people.
Well, people would buy your stuff probably more often if you had the right colors. Like I would buy a Ravenclaw tie if they were the correct colors, but the fact that it's not, never gonna spend my money. I even told like people, don't buy me Ravenclaw stuff. I don't want it. If it's not the right colors, I don't want it. Like don't bother. I'm not spending my money on it. I'm not wasting my money on stuff that's blue and gray or blue and silver. Not my stuff. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So how about you start there, Warden's brother? I know you listen.
I mean,
'cause we're,
that's
the
like
best.
that's a huge thing with Disney too. Like Disney keeps going after all of these like small Instagram shops and stuff for t-shirts, and it's like, well, clearly this is what the people want to buy.
Yeah.
So why don't you make things like this, and then maybe we'll come to you and buy them.
Yeah, but here's the
Same
thing,
thing
like,
goes
with
to
that,
Warner
like,
Brothers.
God, people are paying an arm and a leg to go into your
Yes.
park. Like, let them wear whatever.
Well, but even like
Exactly.
your merch, all of this, and let's be 1,000% honest too. All of the merch, the official stuff from Warner Brothers, from Disney, it's not cheap.
No.
So if I can buy something from someone that's like $10
Local.
versus like $50,
And you're helping a small shop.
Or like you know, there's people that are so creative and they're hand making things that are like Harry Potter or like. Disney, and they're hand making it. I'd rather have that because it's even if it's the same cost as something you'd buy it because that's like almost one of a kind and someone I know have met face to face. That's the artist. I'd rather spend my money on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Whew.
We just got real fiery.
Yeah, my goodness.
Well, it's just silly the things that Warner Brothers goes after, and it's they need to
calm down.
Yeah. So
come down on their pedestal a little bit.
when is this going to fully launch into like the upper tier?
It doesn't.
It doesn't say anywhere. They've just like, and really, I think only like certain, like I don't think that they've officially put it out, but like MuggleCast was reporting, not MuggleCast, MuggleNet was
MuggleNet,
reporting on
yeah.
it as like exclusive. Hey, we have this. They're launching it, but we don't have anything else but that. So they haven't said.
And I know at least the hosts for MuggleCast, I was reading their tweets, they are
Not happy about it.
not pleased.
Well, Eric wrote an article for MuggleNet
Right,
about
right.
it,
Yeah.
about how like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, with all the
They're
stuff
not
that
wrong.
we're going to have to be paying for nowadays, if you're in fandoms, like it's getting pretty expensive.
Well,
People
and, like,
know that you'll pay for exclusivity.
I'm one of those people that I wouldn't be like, you don't want to give it to me. I'm like, I don't want it then. Here's
But
the thing.
see, like
You'll be
you're
able to find
not
it on the internet.
majority. You're not the majority.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I also
I mean,
am willing
think
to
of, like-
search the internet and
think
like
of, like,
you're gonna
the-
find out from someone else's account. Like let's think about when Netflix
HBO
came
Go,
out.
dude.
Exactly. When HBO, Netflix, when they all before you could have other accounts on there, nobody had like not one every person. No, you just use someone else's Netflix password. You know what I mean?
Oh, Brittany says I'll pay for Swish and Flick to tell me about what they find. Brittany, we got you.
We'll tell you.
But honestly, like, I don't know. Make it more. We're all talking about things being accessible. Make it more accessible. This is not making it more accessible.
Like, because the thing with the whole premise of Harry Potter and all of this is not to be like, well, you can't join our club. You can't
We're
be a part
the
of it.
elite.
That's not,
Blah, blah, blah.
Because
that's
they're
not
like,
what this is
oh,
about.
you'll get like a gold button saying that you're a gold member, and then you'll recognize other gold members out in the world. And it's like,
I like
again, like exclusivity. Like, let's keep Harry Potter open to as many people as we can. That's what it's about. Like,
Yeah.
the story is there for everybody to take in. And I don't like the idea of shutting some of the story off to people because they possibly couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
again, like, I might eat my words if they come out and say it's $5 a month. Like, that would be great. I would be okay with $5 a month. Like, that would be,
You know what would be better? Free.
well, right. But if they're going to give you,
Thanks.
quote, exclusive stuff for $5 a month, sure, I'm down with that.
You're gonna tell me how to make a Horcrux?
Please don't. You say honestly?
Give us some like juicy info. Give us like stuff we've been
won't
talking
ever,
about for
ever
like years. You know what I mean?
I'm cool with
But
you
yeah.
telling me if Lavender Brown is dead or not, but I don't want to know how to make a
What if you
Horcrux,
have to
'cause
pay
there's gonna
$100 to know and you can't find it on the internet? Would you pay it?
be- No, because I don't care enough.
About a Horcrux?
No,
about Lavender.
If Lavender,
Oh, lavender.
I would not pay. I don't need to know because there's people out there that would probably try to use and make a Horcrux. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah,
was
people are
joking.
crazy.
I'm just saying.
She won't tell anyone, and I don't need her to. Should we move on?
Yeah, we probably
Yeah.
should. We've been talking for 3 days about this.
Oh,
So we'll just wait and find out what else is going to happen with it, really.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
give you another
Time will tell.
profit, but we'll save it because that was like an hour.
Is it short? I'm curious now, though.
Isn't it just a new?
Oh, yeah, there's new Funko Pops coming out.
That's
End
it.
of story, bye.
And one of them is Fox, and he is really BA.
He is
It's super cool.
But it's
It's like Goblet of Fire themed,
it's
right?
Goblet of Fire, yeah.
What
It's
could
got
we say instead of
Trelawney.
like, you know, so we say Bob's shorts? It could be like Bob's apron. That's pretty cool. Am I right? Bob's apron is great.
I like that.
BA.
He's pretty Bob's
I like
apron.
I actually like the Trelawney Funko Pop. She's really like, she's kind of funny looking.
She's like psychedelic right now.
yeah.
And
there's
Voldemort
Floor.
has Nagini. Floor is there. Crumb.
Tiffany Mister.
Grum.
Yeah.
This is me.
I just want everybody to know that everybody thinks that like Katie's the only one that does the crumb thing. Legitimately, like it's me too.
I think
so.
we all do it.
I'm just
But,
saying I
while on the
started
podcast. I mean, I don't think you started it. I almost said the TV show.
She
did.
continued it.
kept the legend going. No, but yeah, Meg's always got my back with it, and then sometimes the other ladies join in.
I say it in real life sometimes.
So do I.
When you have a crummy cake, grum. Good in my mouth, grum. I think I've had too much to drink today, coffee wise.
Yeah.
I've had so much caffeine.
What time is it, Tiffany?
She's so pretty. Sorry.
I don't know how to do the recap. I don't have an idea.
Recap.
That kind of hurt my throat.
All right, recap. It's Christmas time,
I like Christmas.
and Dobby comes to visit Harry and Ron, and Ron gives all his presents away.
Not all of them.
Almost.
Get to
The,
see when
the
they
sentimental ones that his
Yeah.
mother slaved away making for him, but you know.
And after a snowball fight, it's time for the Yule Ball, and Hermione went with Vicky Crumb.
Icky Vicky.
Where you at?
Grum.
Thank you. There's a lot of information getting thrown around at the ball. We learn about different schools. We learn that Mr. Crouch is really sick, apparently. And Shocker of the Year, Hagrid is half giant. What?
I'm half surprised.
Cedric sort of pays Harry back for the clue about the dragon and gives him the clue about the golden
barely.
egg. Thank you. And Ron and Hermione, once again, have a fight.
Big surprise there.
Just get married already.
Just
give
kiss
him-
and makeup.
Give him a
two
couple of
birds.
years on all accounts.
Those two birds.
Well, the two lovebirds don't know they're in love yet. I have a lot to say in my summary.
Okay, I'm
I was getting fired up. So Christmas is over, and obviously everyone is like super sad. So it's class time with Hagrid, except he's not there, and Grubbly Plank has taken over. Boo! Because Hagrid's in hiding because of a dumb article a dumb Rita Skeeter wrote about him telling a secret to the world. Dumb. Go, Hagrid. You are the best. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yes. The article was pure trash. Harry is angry, while a lot of the students actually seem to be okay with Hagrid not being there. They try and they visit him later, but to no avail. Later, it's Hogwarts weekend, except it's Hogmeade is what I wrote, and I just said Hogwarts. It's Hogmeads. Nope. It's Hogsmeade weekend. They see Crumb
okay.
doing the polar bear plunge. Weird dude. Then Harry has a conversation with Ludo and learns some things. He's an odd duck. And he's offering to help Harry, but not Cedric. Weird. But Harry's close to figuring it out, right? He knows what the egg is, right? Then they have an unfortunate meeting with Rita. Gag me. Hermione is determined to get Hagrid out of his hut with help from her dudes and Dumbledore. We find some new things out about the others' relatives, and that many parents of students who go there Why are you laughing at?
That's what you're gonna write.
Oh, don't give two sheets about Hagrid being a half giant because he's a pure angel. And I would like to let you know, I literally wrote that in my book when I read this through. I was like, he's a pure angel.
Like Taylor Swift.
No, he's purer than Taylor Swift.
There's nothing purer than Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Hagrid. I said the world doesn't deserve him, and then I said some mean things about Rita.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, it makes me think of cats. I don't know why. I have to show you a cute cat
Okay.
later.
Is it her cat? Because he's cute.
No, it's my friend's cat. She let her kid name it, and they named him Blueberry.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Blueberry.
Blueberry. Okay, so
Let's talk about Hagrid and how amazing he is. Kate, thanks. Bye.
I do love me some Hagrid, but I also didn't know that you were Rita's article.
I'm garbage. You're trash. So really, you're the article.
I love
Get your facts straight.
silence.
I can't see. Okay. Boxing Day gets off to a late start because everyone is super tired from the night before. And even the common room was much quieter than it had been leading up to the ball. And so I said, what's Boxing Day?
Everybody is probably like screaming at us like, you don't know what Boxing Day
No.
You guys don't know what Boxing Day is?
I know
Well,
what it is.
I didn't.
I wish we
Had it. We should have Boxing
Okay.
Day.
have it.
So it is a secular holiday celebrated after Christmas Day, originating in the United Kingdom. And it's celebrated in a number of countries that previously formed part of the British Empire. It's on the 26th of December, obviously. So what do?
They don't go to work.
Literally in my head, Boxing Day meant, hey, it's Christmas, you open a bunch of presents, so all the boxes go out on your front lawn.
I thought we were going to like throw down, like we're going to throw some punches.
I
yeah,
always
box.
envisioned like boxing.
No,
Before I
literally-
knew what it was, I was like, what? So people like go out and box each other? I don't get it.
I love that.
But no, I think really like the premise of it is that you're like putting everything away for Christmas. Boxing Day, you're boxing things up, right?
I don't know. Sure. I'll
But
go with
basically,
that.
they have a bunch of sales and people don't have work. It's like Black Friday. It's like Black Friday.
Because they don't have
Black Friday's not
Friday.
fun anymore.
they don't
It's
have
not
Black
Black
Friday.
Friday. It's like
Do you know why it's called Black Friday?
Turquoise Wednesday. I don't know.
It's because, no, I'm going to tell you why. Because that's when the stores finally get out of the black.
Yeah.
They sell so much stuff, they're now making a profit. Like, it takes them that long.
Well,
Yeah,
then
so
why
they
are there
say.
Red Thursdays now?
I don't know.
Hermione's hair is let down and bushy again, and she confesses, and I said, girl, you do you, to using a liberal amount of Sleek Easy's hair potion, but it's too much to deal with on a daily basis, and I
You
wanted to...
let your curls curl and be beautiful,
I'm
my
not having
friend.
that conversation with you again.
I'm just saying it.
so long.
Rock your curls.
Fleamont Potter was Harry's grandfather on his daddy's side, and he is the one who cooked up Sleek Easy's hair potion, a very popular wizarding beauty
I
product.
lied. So you're saying they get out of the black. No, they get into the black. They get into the black. They get out of the red. That's what it is. So it's opposite of what I said, but essentially what I mean. They're finally making money.
I got it.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Easy's.
Sleek Easy's hair potion.
For men and women.
Anybody
and
with
unicorns. So yeah, that was just a little bit of a reminder of where that product came from. We talked about that on, a Felix file?
Something, I think
Maybe
so.
We talked about it
Lily and
during
James.
Lily and James's Felix Files.
Okay, so if you
Fleamont.
didn't know, now you do. You're welcome. So, Ron and Hermione had an unspoken agreement to not discuss what they had been arguing about the night before. As a matter of fact, they were being a little bit too friendly to each other, and it was a little too formal, and so it was really weird.
Wonder if they kissed and made up.
Hard pass.
Okay.
Ron and Harry were very eager to tell Hermione about what they had heard the night before with Madame Maxime and Hagrid, but Hermione wasn't as shocked by this news of Hagrid being a half giant.
I mean, she's not dumb.
Right, she pretty much had a well done moment.
Well, I think that with Harry, he doesn't think of giants really being a thing. I think that's why he's more shocked about that.
I agree.
And then obviously we
Yeah.
know Ron is Ron.
That's fair.
So I think with Harry, he's just it never occurred to me giants.
Are
Oh, those are real too?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's, I mean,
If he knew, he'd probably
he's
be
only not even 4 years into this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Hermione, she's only 4 years into it too, but she researches
I
crazy.
think she's read every book on the planet by then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. She's like,
when in doubt, go to the library. Am I right?
am I right?
Right.
Especially if Crumb's there.
I mean, he is a good-looking.
He's
bro.
very
We share a
Easy.
birthday.
Did you see that?
Me and the actor.
Oh, why didn't you ask him to come on the podcast for your birthday?
I should have.
Yeah, well,
Shared birthday.
hindsight, man.
I mean, we
Sure.
still can ask him to be on the podcast for the other thing we're doing, which I can't remember.
Everybody
Crumb.
set in motion.
Oh,
You're okay.
I don't know words.
We need our Swish Army to go out there and tweet. And
Yeah.
Instagram the heck out of
Tweet
it.
and Instagram him.
I
Tell
don't-
him to
is
come
he
on the
on
show.
He's
Twitter?
on Instagram for sure.
He's
Yeah, I know he's on Insta.
I think he's on Twitter.
Hermione says, quote, I knew he couldn't be pure giant because they're about 20 feet tall. But honestly, all this hysteria about giants, they can't all be horrible. It's the same sort of prejudice that people have towards werewolves. It's just bigotry, isn't it? And I said, it is.
Just think of Ron.
Well, Ron bit back some words to keep the peace,
Smart.
and we'll leave it at that.
I wonder how often he has to do that in his later life.
Oh.
Probably a lot.
He's probably like, Ron, you shouldn't have said that. And he's like, you know what? Wife, you're right.
So now that they've been enjoying themselves throughout the holiday, homework is now something that can't be avoided anymore. Everyone has come down off that Christmas high in
the
real
worst.
life. Oh my gosh. When real life sets back in again, it's not cool. And for Harry, this means that his nerves are starting back up. Because on this side of Christmas, February 24th is looking a little bit closer. And I said, well, technically it is closer.
It is close.
But I didn't Ravenclaw this. What day of the week is this, February 24th?
I think it's a Tuesday. I'll look again. But
Okay.
I have it in my notes. I have a question for you, though.
For me personally?
Yes. What's worse for you? Was it worse with Christmas while you were a student or now that you're a teacher? Like, which one is like, oh my God, I don't want to go back to school or I don't want to go back to work? Like that.
Oh,
it's
teacher.
over.
When I was a student, I was in love with school. Yeah, like 2 weeks into summer vacation, I would be over it and ready to go back. I was weird.
Okay, Hermione.
Well, yeah.
I will say, I was one of those students that was like, after like summer, I was ready to get back to school because it was like, summer got boring.
Nope.
Because I wasn't allowed to do a crazy ton of stuff because like I had to roughly stay at home or like be just around my neighborhood. Like we didn't have a lot of fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
Get
I was
boring.
just
You always
playing
had to stay with the
softball
same
all summer.
people.
I played a lot
I'd
of
get
video games.
I'd get a little burnt out, I think, because we traveled and stuff for ball. So
Was this 1995?
is this 95?
February
Yeah, it
24th?
would be.
It's a Friday.
That's better for me, but still. You know what I
better
mean?
for me?
It works better for my schedule as far as 1995 goes. So Harry had literally done nothing with his golden
Sorry, I was touching something. There you go.
egg. And I said that's true Harry fashion anyways. So now every time he went back to the dormitory, he would take out the egg, open it, hoping it would make sense. It never did. It still was screaming. And he said the sound reminded him of 30 musical saws.
I wish we had like a small piece of metal so you go waka, 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 waka.
I know. Quote, he closed the egg, shook it vigorously, and opened it again to see if the sound had changed, but it hadn't. He tried asking the egg questions, shouting over all the wailing, but nothing happened. He even threw the egg across the room, though he hadn't really expected that to help. And I said, this is Magic 8 Ball style, baby!
Try it again later.
Harry hadn't forgotten the hint that Cedric gave him, but he was still a little bit salty towards him because of the ball. But if he was right, you know what I mean? But Harry was worried that Cedric wasn't direct enough because Harry straight up said, yo, it's dragons. And Cedric's all like, go take a bath.
Well, I think maybe he's thinking like in Cedric's defense.
Read my brain. Did you look at my computer notes?
No, because I don't read your notes because that's rude to do.
I meant our one brain computer.
Oh, are you going to say that because he's a Hufflepuff, he doesn't want to like break the rules, so he's
Yeah.
just like skirting around them? Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. So I think this was his way of repaying Harry and trying to keep it as fair as he could, even though it's not fair, but it's as fair
I
as he
hear
could
you.
get. You know what I mean?
Because I know that internal struggle as a
I
Hufflepuff
think-
myself.
Yeah.
Like,
I
You,
think
you don't want to
that's
break the
dumb.
rules,
Right.
but
Harry broke the rules for you. Break them for him.
I mean, he is breaking them by giving
But
him
not
any type
really.
of thing.
You're so snaky right now.
It's annoying.
Meg, you wouldn't tell anybody anything. You'd be like, sucks to suck. You don't know. You don't know.
This will be Megan. Go take it into the forbidden forest. Open it up under a full moon. See what happens.
My God.
That is 1,000% accurate.
My God, you're just going to get people killed. Jeez. Quote, well, he didn't need that sort of rubbishy help from someone who kept walking down corridors hand in hand with Cho anyway. And so the first day of the new term arrived, and Harry set off to lessons weighed down with books, parchment, and quills as usual, but also the lurking worry of the egg heavy in his stomach, as though he were carrying it around with him too.
He's also holding on to his giant stubbornness. Just go take a bath with your egg, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's just feeling a little, he's a little heartbroken.
Oh, don't worry. You marry someone else.
He's a little sad tweeting right now. So
She's sad tweeting too because you're not together with her.
snow is thick upon the grounds again, and the condensation made it impossible to see out of the windows in herbology. And I can feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No one, and I don't blame them, wanted to go to Care Magical Creatures in this weather. Ron, however, that day thought that the Scroots might warm them up if they, were chased and they blasted off. And then Hagrid's cabin would catch fire and, there could
so
be like
sad.
marshmallow. This is what he says. There could be like marshmallow. He didn't have to say the marshmallow thing, but I think Ron would love a marshmallow.
Not just a marshmallow. I think he'd love a whole s'more.
Toasted marshmallow.
Somebody get me a s'more.
S'more.
A s'more.
My thing is, it sounds when I read the book like I envision feet upon feet upon feet of snow. I don't
Yes.
know why.
No,
Why are you
me
going
too.
to class like that?
I don't know. You gotta learn
cold
about
outside.
creatures, bro.
In feet of snow?
Why don't they have like a greenhouse for
The
creatures?
term
They're
is
used to it.
feats.
The creatures might be, but other students like to walk outside.
No,
while
but
they're
like, I mean,
peeking their eyeballs over the high snow.
if they
I
live
imagine
in
it like-
Scotland, they're probably used to it.
I imagine it like the maze in.
Okay, do you like to go to school when there's feet of snow outside in Cleveland? Because we're used to it. It comes every year.
Come on, what am I talking about? The Shining, the hedge maze covered in snow. Someone on Discord agree with me, please.
Hedge maze? What are you talking about?
The Shining. Someone.
I've
never
I've
seen
never
that.
seen it.
Because that movie's scary.
What in the actual?
I don't like scary
I don't like
movies.
scary movies.
I don't care. However, when they got there, Hagrid wasn't there. Hagrid wasn't there. And there was an elderly witch there with a closely cropped gray haircut and a very prominent chin. She barked at them that they were late, and Ron was like, here you. First of all, I said, someone should have told the students about the change. That's not cool.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Secondly, chill out, lady. You don't know these people.
Also, like, they're not walking on a fresh spring day where there's no obstacles. There's snow everywhere.
Dude, it's exhausting to walk through snow.
It is. Do you think they have special snowshoes
I think
or
it's easy.
magic
You
on
just
their
walk
feet?
like normal.
Feet. I should
Get
not
outta
speak
here.
incorrectly, but I like saying
I mean,
feet.
first of all, it's cold. What if it's already blustery that day? You don't know what the weather's
Winnie
Magic
the
some
Pooh action.
blue flames like Hermione.
Magic a blue flower with red thorns.
Blue flower with thorns. Blue flower with thorns. And we find out that this is Professor Grubbly Plank, and she is the temporary care of magical creatures teacher. And I said, row.
This is going to make you sound dumb. She's not the one that retired, correct? Who retired when Hagrid took over the position?
For loss of limb?
Because I know that he mentions her in the movies. He
But
says
it's not actually
Professor
her.
Grumbly. How does Grubbly
Grubbly
Plank?
Plank.
Yeah, because he wants to spend
Grumbly
the
and
rest of her
Matumbly.
time, or rest of their time
With their remaining limbs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not.
But I don't think
Somebody's
it's Grubbly Plank.
Megan's interneting it.
Because I know I have it in my notes. Kettleburn.
Kettleburn.
Yes, thank you.
Kettleburn.
Kettleburn
Okay.
was the OG one. Because that always ticked me off. Because in the movies, he says it's Grubbly Plank. So that's where they got it from.
I got you.
Lady.
So this is Wilhelmina Grubbly Plank. Basically, she's just a substitute teacher. She covers for Hagrid when he is indisposed after Christmas break in January 1995. And again, when Hagrid is off negotiating with giants in Order of the Phoenix.
Do you guys think, like, back-ish in the day, when they needed a substitute for care of magical creatures, it was Newt? Do you think he ever taught for creatures?
I don't know.
I think that'd be something he would do.
Be pretty cool.
He probably would be like, obviously he's like kind of an odd dude anyways. Mm-hmm. But like you'd find out like, really cool stuff about the creatures. Not that you don't now, but like, because he treats them like he's like their mother bird kind of thing. All the creatures.
That'd be awesome.
And the lexicon brings up something that I definitely don't remember from Order of the Phoenix. It says that she smokes a pipe and uses a monocle.
Interesting.
I'm going to have to hopefully remember that.
I wonder if that's like a video game thing, maybe,
Yeah.
or something.
Someone-
Sometimes they pull from.
This is not random. This is going back to
It's not-
Newt, but they said, what if not technically if he was technically expelled? Well, Hagrid was expelled, and he's a teacher, so that disproves that.
Yeah.
Truth.
So, but it also points out that she nurses Hedwig back to health after she was attacked delivering mail in chapter 17 of Order of the Phoenix, which is pretty cool.
I sometimes forget that these are just people too. Like they can also have like sick days, so they would have to have substitute teachers.
Yeah.
So like, how cool would that be? Like,
She's
I'm
probably-
a substitute teacher for Hogwarts. You
She's
know?
probably just like retired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like,
Maybe lives in Hogsmeade.
yeah. That's kind of what I figured actually.
yeah.
Harry presses again to find out where Hagrid is, and she says he is indisposed. And I said, okay, that's not helpful. Malfoy and the rest of the Slytherins were laughing and looking gleeful, and none of them were surprised that Hagrid was gone. So good old Grubbly Plank leads the class off and around to the paddock where the Beauxbatons horses are shivering.
Aw,
Why?
they're not getting enough whiskey to keep them warm.
Yeah, they need more whiskey.
Get them
Because
little
Hagrid's
blankies.
hiding.
No, they need a stinking stable. And I think that's Bob Shorts.
Well, I mean, get some more whiskey in those.
BS for those of you out there.
Bob Shorts.
Bob Shorts.
Why can't they just magic something big enough for them?
Yeah.
Or could they do like those blue flamey flames?
we could maybe do blue flames, blue bell flames.
The great flames of fire.
Goodness gracious.
Great flames of fire.
So the trio is looking back at the cabin and all the curtains are closed. And Harry was wondering if Hagrid was in there alone and ill. And I was just really sweet. Like he literally thinks that. Like,
I just want to give Hagrid a hug.
I
I think I
know.
might cry during this episode. I'm just warning you now.
well, let's get to the tears. They feed me.
Oh my god.
Harry
They
press.
fuel my great fiery
Are you a
flames.
Slytherin?
Flames of fire.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Harry presses Grubbly Plank again and asks what's wrong with Hagrid. Never you mind. And I said, oh my gosh.
I don't care for her.
But Harry goes a little book 5 here and says, I do mind though. What's up with him?
Woohoo!
It's
Yes. Yes.
But he's ignored.
Ugh.
So. And then we see it. On the edge of the forest, tethered against a tree, was a beautiful unicorn.
Do you think the unicorn's cold too?
Probably not. I think
But
they're
so
magically warm.
majestic, Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
My beauty warms me.
I think so, but legit.
That's what happens with me. I'm never cold. My beauty warms me.
Your beauty warms me as well.
Sarah, you too hot.
What did I say to you the other day, Tiffany? Because you're like, are you working today? I'm like, working on being a hot lady.
And I told her we were not allowed to talk anymore. Many of the girls were oohing and awing at the unicorns, and it's the unicorn was so bright white against the snow that it made the snow look gray
And that's
in
crazy.
comparison.
Because it's brand new, fresh snow.
You know, and the unicorn looks nervous, and I'm like, "Oh, you sweet baby." Lavender.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be tied up either. Like, I'm a free little unicorn. Don't tie
Right.
me up. I can't be tamed. Let me roam in the
can't
forest
be
of
tamed.
the forbidden mist.
You legitimately cannot be tamed, though. You're a wild animal.
You're just like Miley Cyrus.
You are a unicorn, Sarah.
Thank you.
So Lavender wonders where she got one because unicorns are supposed to be very difficult to catch. So here we go. Grubbly Plank tells the boys to stand back because unicorns prefer a woman's touch. And when I was writing this, I said, I wonder how true this is, but it is actually a thing with the unicorns. So they have a
Profile.
thank you, on
I believe I've read it on a previous
Pottermore.
episode, which is fine. Go ahead, refresh.
We probably read it with like a wand thing.
Also
Yeah.
with Hagrid and them seeing the unicorns and the unicorn blood. I bet.
So many moons ago.
Yeah, so refresh.
Yeah. So beautiful, pure white horned horses with highly magical properties. And in this illustration here, the hooves are gold.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think they change too when they're babies. They change colors. Like
They're
they're
silver.
silver. Yeah.
Oh my
So they're like
gosh.
two, I think.
And then they're gold after that, correct?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
Oh.
well, hold on.
It has to do with their age.
Well, hold
Oh,
on.
they
Pure white horned foals I'm sorry. Pure white horned horse. Foals are golden and then turn
turn
silver
silver. Okay.
before
There we go.
adulthood.
Got it.
I know at some point they were silver.
Horn, hair, and blood, all magical properties, highly magical properties. Dangers, they're not aggressive without cause, but they should be treated with great respect. Little hippogriff
All
action.
creatures and humans should be treated.
Agreed with that.
Just saying.
Usually found in forests throughout Northern Europe. Their allegiance, like this is the title of this part is allegiance, generally avoids human contact but has stronger affinity with witches than with wizards. So it is a thing.
I wonder if it's because women tend, like, not always, are usually a little bit more gentle in nature. You know what I mean? Like, women tend to be a little bit more maternal. Not always. There are also some men out there that are, like, more gentle.
I don't know.
I'm just curious if that's the thought behind that.
But it makes me like, because I'm looking at the illustrations that are on here, and it's like all the girls are around it and all the boys are in the back, and I'm like, well, how good of a lesson is this?
The way she's like, boys, stand back. It's like,
Yeah.
calm down. You
Yeah.
can say it nicer than that.
And I'm sure, like,
She's very
if
forward.
if you know how animals will feed off your energy, like, I'm
Yeah.
sure if she was a little more maybe the unicorn wouldn't have been so nervous having
I
been
agree.
tethered to the tree. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, maybe the boys would have been
Well,
able to have a
because
good chance.
Going back to my, being a little bit more maternal, like, honestly, Hagrid's someone where, like, Newt,
He is
like,
maternal.
he is super.
you see him when
Yeah.
he's with Norberta, that, like, I'm like, oh, he knows, like, I'm his mom. Like, he's
Yeah.
never said, like, I'm the dad. Not,
I'm mummy,
again, and there's
you know what I
nothing,
mean?
I'm not saying anything against
I love
mother's
it.
dads, anything like
I
that.
love it.
He just has, like, more of, like, a nurturing,
There you go. Nurturing.
Nurturing.
what am I looking for?
Personality?
Personality. Like, that's his essence. Like, he's just a nurturing human, and that doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, whatever. So she's just a little bit more gruff, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering, like,
Like, he's more calming too, because he's like, I'm here to help you kind of thing with the animals. Like, that's really, he's just nurturing, calming dude. He just loves them all, and he just wants them all to love him back.
I know. I'm just saying, like, calm down, Grubbly Plank, or as I fondly refer to her in the doc as GP. But there's also a quote from Grubbly Plank. They prefer the woman's touch, unicorns. Girls to the front and approach with care. Come on, give those guys a chance.
Again, because, if they're nurturing, I don't know if, like, well, Harry and Ron maybe, I don't know.
I mean, Malfoy's the only one I wouldn't really trust
Well,
because he was a jerk to Buckbeak.
But with that, like, we saw at the beginning, he was able to touch Buckbeak. He just was like, he saw that Harry was doing more or whatever, and he
And
made
he,
a
like,
comment.
changed
and then
it. Yeah.
So I think he's got a little bit.
Stupid error.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, Ron and Harry strike up a conversation about Hagrid, and Malfoy butts in and breaks the bad news. But I'm sure he's thrilled to be able to make this delivery.
I think he carries around these little clippings for these moments in time.
Oh,
What
definitely.
a sad thing to be doing, though. If we step back out of this and think about what he's doing, he's going after this attention-seeking
Oh,
Yeah.
behavior.
He's
Yeah.
putting so much time and energy into it.
He's going after being more knowledgeable or being better than Harry because, first of all, this year, Harry is, quote, better than him because he's a champion. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Malfoy needs to go out of his way
Yep.
to kind of bring himself back up this ladder. And it's like, I just
yeah.
feel bad because I guarantee Senior was like, why aren't you a champion? Why did Harry Potter, didn't you try to put your name in? La, 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 la. And he's not good enough for his dad. And we have to
dad
have a
is
little
a
bit of
piece of
empathy for young Malfoy here.
And part of that, I bet you, is like, he really, and again, we are seeing this from Harry's point of view, though. So a lot of what we see from Malfoy is him spending all this energy, finding all these news clippings, making those buttons, all against Harry. Like, he's putting so much time and effort into that. Where, like, I know in my own personal, like, if someone keeps talking about me, Mom's like, let them. She's like, they're wasting their time and energy, and they're talking about you. She goes, I'm going to worry when they stop talking about me.
I mean,
that just means I'm so important in their life. You know what I mean?
And this
And that's
relationship
sad.
could have been shipped since book 1.
Yep. Little dreary action. Am I right?
I just wanted to point that out.
I do kind of feel
If you,
bad
if
for
you,
Malfoy
yeah,
this
if you,
year.
if you think about it in a different way,
Like, he's a jerk,
Different
but
perspective.
but he's
But, like, think about why he is the way he
Right,
is. Like, that's the thing. Like,
exactly.
you need to take a little bit perspective on other people's situations and
And again, they are teenagers. He's not an adult yet. Like,
That's something people
teenagers are
forget
dumb sometimes.
a lot with Malfoy when they're very hard on him about his choices. Again, he was a young kid when a lot of these things
And
are
he was
happening.
just following his parents.
Yeah. Yes.
So, all right. Well, the article.
That's a discussion for another day.
Malfoy, in Malfoy fashion, is a jerk here, to put it nicely. So there's an article in the Prophet titled Dumbledore's Giant Mistake.
Ugh.
And I'm going to read it. Albus Dumbledore, eccentric headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, has never been afraid to make controversial staff appointments, writes our girl, Rita Skeeter, special correspondent.
Trash bag. Not my anything.
In September of this year, he hired Alistair Mad-Eye Moody, the notoriously jinx-happy ex-Auror, to teach Defense Against the Dark Arts, a decision that caused many raised eyebrows at the Ministry of Magic, given Moody's well-known habit of attacking anybody who makes a sudden movement in his presence. Mad-Eye Moody, however, looks responsible and kindly when set beside the part-human Dumbledore employs to teach care of magical creatures.
I won't lie, I didn't reread this article, and that statement right there makes me angry.
Bigotry. Rubius Hagrid, who admits to being expelled from Hogwarts in his third year, has enjoyed the position of gamekeeper at the school ever since, a job secured for him by Dumbledore. Last year, however, Hagrid used his mysterious influence over the headmaster to secure the additional post of Care of Magical Creatures teacher over the heads of many better qualified candidates. An alarmingly large and ferocious-looking man, Hagrid has been using his newfound authority to terrify the students in his care with a succession of horrific creatures. While Dumbledore turns a blind eye, Hagrid has maimed several pupils during a series of lessons that many admit to being, quote, very frightening. I was attacked by a hippogriff, and my friend Vincent Crabbe got a bad bite off a flubberworm, says Draco Malfoy.
A flubberworm?
Oh my God.
A fourth-year student.
What's a flubberworm?
That's like saying you got a splinter in wood shop. Come on.
No.
Flubberworms don't have teeth. I'll just leave that word.
Flobber.
Oh,
You're saying flubber
worm.
like the green goo flubber.
I love that movie.
Aw, pour one out for Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I love him.
Sympathy
Anyways,
sadness.
sorry. I had to because you were saying flubber a lot.
Sorry. We all hate Hagrid, but we're just too scared to say anything. Hagrid has no intention of ceasing his campaign of intimidation, however. In conversation with a Daily Prophet reporter last month, he admitted breeding creatures he has dubbed blast-ended scroots, highly dangerous crosses between manticores and fire crabs. The creation of new breeds of magical creatures is, of course, an activity usually closely observed by the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Hagrid, however, considers himself to be above such petty restrictions.
Darn right he is.
I was just having some fun, he says, before hastily changing the subject. As if this were not enough, the Daily Prophet has now unearthed evidence that Hagrid is not, as he has always pretended, a pureblood wizard. He is not, in fact, even pure human. His mother, we can exclusively reveal, is none other than the giantess Fridwulfa, whose whereabouts are currently unknown. Bloodthirsty and brutal, the giants brought themselves to the point of extinction by warring against themselves during the last century. The handful that remained joined the ranks of He Who Must Not Be Named and were responsible for some of the worst mass muggle killings of his reign of terror. While many of the giants who served He Who Must Not Be Named were killed by Aurors working against the dark side, Fridwulfa was not among them. It is possible she escaped to one of the giant communities still existing in foreign mountain ranges. If his antics during Care of Magical Creatures lessons are any guide, however, Fridwulfa's son appears to have inherited her brutal nature. In a bizarre twist, Hagrid is reputed to have developed a close friendship with the boy who brought around You-Know-Who's fall from power, thereby driving Hagrid's own mother, like the rest of You-Know-Who's supporters, into hiding. Perhaps Harry Potter's unaware of the unpleasant truth of his large friend, but Albus Dumbledore surely has a duty to ensure that Harry Potter, along with his fellow students, is warned about the dangers of associating with part giants.
Oh boy. Fozzie's literally snoring, but I don't think it's because of you.
After Harry, I'm guessing, is just like very quickly skimming this article to try and like get the gist of it because he's already immediately angry just because of Malfoy's face, right? Yeah. He whispers, "How did she find out?" But more importantly, Harry was more concerned about what was actually said in the article. "What do you mean we all hate Hagrid? What's this rubbish about him," he pointed to Crabbe, "getting a bad bite off a flabberworm? They haven't even got teeth." So Malfoy didn't care that it was a lie. He really just wanted Hagrid gone.
Yeah.
So he's going to say whatever he needs to say to Rita to get this information out there and make it seem like Hagrid's a horrible person. And he calls him an oaf, which just makes me so angry.
Yeah.
So after that, Harry is literally like clenching the article in his fist the entire rest of the lesson. He can't pay attention to anything that's going on. And then on their way back, he is just angry at the fact that anybody even likes Professor Grubbly Plank.
Yeah.
He snaps at Parvati because she says, "I hope she stays, that woman." And then Harry angrily says, "What about Hagrid?" And she retorts, "What about him? He can still be gamekeeper, can't he?" And apparently Parvati had been very cool towards Harry since the ball. And I said, deservingly so.
Yeah.
But
Can't
she
blame her.
had made arrangements to meet the Beauxbaton boy who had asked her to dance in Hogsmeade on the next trip.
So it wasn't all bad.
True. And that's kind of actually what Harry says. He's like, "I don't know why she's so mad at me. It seemed like she had a good time." And it's like,
Such a silly.
Hermione also does start talking about what a good lesson that was, but then Harry literally like probably wants to punch her in the
But
face.
like, how much
Sure.
do the boys even do the lesson?
So Harry shows her the article and her jaw just drops. She's so annoyed. They're not convinced that Hagrid told Rita this information. She has to have found out somehow. So Hermione says maybe she heard him telling Madame Maxime at the ball. And
Well, she did.
but they don't know that yet. Ron says, "We'd have seen her in the garden. Anyway, she's not supposed to come into school anymore. Hagrid said Dumbledore banned her." "Maybe she's got an invisibility cloak," said Harry, ladling chicken casserole onto his plate and splashing it everywhere in his anger.
That would
He
be
is so emotional. And I guess I
is.
didn't realize this. Like, he's really starting in this book.
well, but
Yeah.
also think about who Hagrid is to him.
I
Like
know.
reading this
It's like
chapter,
father
I had
figure.
to put it down.
No,
I'm
but
so
like even
angry.
with like the Cedric and Cho stuff, like he really starts book 5 Harry like now.
Yeah, he does. It's the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
those
here for
teenage emotions.
Sort of thing she'd do, isn't it? Hide in bushes listening to people. Like you and Ron did, you mean, said Hermione.
God, I love her.
We weren't trying to hear him, said Ron indignantly. We didn't have any choice. The stupid Pratt talking about his giantess mother where anyone could have heard him.
not nice things to say, Ron.
It's not.
Yeah.
So Harry devises this plan that they have to go down to Hagrid's hut and talk to him and let him know that they all want him back, which is like
Want
really
you
sweet.
back.
Oh.
Want you back. Were you
Get
thinking
out
that?
of my head. I was saying it in my head.
Hermione hastily agrees about going down to talk to Hagrid after getting glares from Harry after she admitted that she even enjoyed the lesson. He is like mad at her, like, "I can't believe that you would do that." But after dinner, they head down to Hagrid's cabin and they knock and they knock and they knock. They hear Fang barking. Hagrid doesn't answer. Fang scratches at the door. He's whining. And they literally knocked on his door for 10 minutes.
That is a long time in the cold.
It is.
Breaks my heart because he's like in there like upset.
Yeah.
Like and
knows it's them.
Well, and think he read that article. We know he did, and he probably
course.
thinks they hate him too. Like, oh my God, my heart is broken for him.
I know. And it says here that they only gave up because they knew he wasn't going to come to the door, but they're just confused as to why Hagrid would think that they care, which I get. But at the same time, like when you're in that situation, like Hagrid probably just feels like walls are crashing down on him right now,
Well, and I bet you like him telling Maxime is not the first time that he's told someone that he's cared about, and then they like do what she
Don't
did.
want anything to do with him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he didn't want them to know because he was afraid of how they were going to react.
Yeah. And they don't see him all week. He wasn't at the staff table for meals. He wasn't doing his gamekeeper duties. And Professor Grubbly Plank was still doing lessons. And Malfoy was gloating the whole time, which is so annoying. Some of the phrases that he says to Harry under his breath during lessons are missing your half-breed pal or missing the elephant man.
Hi.
And I said, that is so bigoted and stupid. I
Yep.
just
Oh,
He's
Malfoy,
so
man,
immature.
I tried to vouch for you.
I know.
I thought in that article, because it's been a long time since I read this book, I thought that she was going to bring up Remus Lupin too, because technically he's a half human that Dumbledore hired at the school. I was like, whoa.
Maybe she knew not to say something because we would have jumped through these pages and really given her a what's for.
Probably.
I mean, like, I read this semi recently again for the first time, like within the past year or whatever. And I, too, coming up to that part, was like, she's going to mention Lupin. Because I couldn't remember, but then she didn't. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But-
well, she alluded to him.
Like the article reminds me of like almost like reading comments, you know what I mean? Like when we get those bad comments and you're like, it's been almost 2 years, but when you first read them and if you know, it's like a lot of them, like, cause I know I'm
put a lot of heart and everything into this. And when you read
and then
stuff
you
like
read
that, it hurts.
like, and then with nowadays people on the internet, like they can just be mean. So then you immediately take it to heart because you see like, for every 10 great comments or something, you see like one not great one, and you're not going to even remember all those great ones. So like he now is thinking, he's reading these articles or read the article, and he's like, everybody hates me. All my students hate me. Why am I even doing this? Why am I here? I'm like, you know, so he already probably feels some type of way about being a half giant because he doesn't tell anyone. Like he doesn't tell Harry who Harry like,
and he
is
only
super
tells
close with
her
him.
because he thinks that she's the same thing. Like you said, doesn't tell.
Yes.
Well,
like, you know what I mean? But yes, I agree. I know what you mean. Yes. You know?
Yeah.
And people don't think about the consequences of their words either whenever they put those like bad comments or something. They're just like, you know, people don't think like, oh, someone is going to read this and feel horrible about it. You know what I mean? Like nobody thinks that.
I think part of it is they think that nowadays, especially because, you know, you have the safety wall of your computer screen, not looking someone like right in the face. So with him, first of all, he told Maxime and she just kind of up and left and she's like, I can't believe you would ever say that to me. So it's almost even more brutal for him to hear it like that. And then he sees the article in print where like Rita's saying all these awful things about him. And then he hears his own students where like he knows that, he's got to know that he's not Malfoy's favorite. And we know that he probably doesn't care about Malfoy either. But just to hear someone say like, "Oh, we all hate him," like that is such a strong word, and I myself like don't even like calling like a food I don't like. I hate it. Like that's just.
And he's sensitive.
Yeah, you know, and you hear all of us, you know, that big huge umbrella term. Well, then he's thinking, oh, like does Harry hate me? Does Ron hate me? Does Hermione hate me? Like all of these students.
Everyone.
Yeah, so he's going to constantly be second guessing himself.
I wonder too if he thinks that Maxime went to the prophet with this too.
Oh, you know what?
Because who else? I mean, like, how else would it have happened? So he probably feels so betrayed.
I mean, we obviously see it throughout the series. Like, he cares for her a lot.
Yeah.
It just makes me
And in
wanna
his mind,
criminalize it.
there's no other way that information could have gotten out but through her.
And it's like, I opened up to you something I don't open up to the closest people
And now it's
around me.
plastered on the daily prophet.
Like,
And everyone
that's
knows.
devastating and heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Oof. Mr. Grid.
His reaction of like, poor me, which is, you know, I understand, also makes me think of Remus too. Where
Well,
he
like,
would just automatically assume everyone
they're
hates him.
honestly pretty similar
Remus.
characters.
Which I've
And
never
then
thought of
this.
before.
At the end of this chapter, he's literally sobbing when he
Yes.
realizes like Dumbledore is still behind me. These kids that I've known for all of these years, like I'm gonna try not to cry. I told you I was gonna do it because he's known Harry for such a long time, and I know that like Harry hasn't gotten to know him from like when he was the one that took him away from his house. So he's known this kid for all of these years, and then to finally like, okay, he doesn't hate who I am because of like who my mother is.
Yeah.
He's literally sobbing, like
Just so grateful.
of relief, really.
Yeah.
Like it's such a big thing.
He doesn't have a real big self-esteem.
No.
He does
at
not
all.
have a giant self-esteem.
No. And I wish that, you know, he would have a little more.
It's just upsetting. Like the thing, I think the biggest takeaway specifically from this chapter is that you can't judge a book by its cover. Just because, you know, if you meet my brother Matt, like he's a big, tall guy. And people literally like, well, I should say this. When guys specifically meet my brothers, like they're terrified of them. But like Matt's a big, tall guy. So like people are afraid of him. Literally the world's nicest guy. Like you don't know. You don't know until you get to know someone. Like, so Hagrid is like this giant, you know, he's I don't know how many feet tall he is. When he was 11, he was like 8 feet tall. So he's huge. He's half a giant. He's big. He's burly. But he literally is the nicest guy. You know, he wants to be the mother to a dragon. He wants to be a Khaleesi. You know what I mean? Mother of dragons. All of that stuff.
He does. Oh,
I think I called her a dragon lady on the internet today.
He's just a little bit nicer, though.
I was like, I don't know her name. It was a dragon lady.
Oh my god.
There's so many things I could say about.
Hagrid. Okay.
Okay.
So there was a Hogsmeade weekend day, whatever.
Not a Harry Potter Hogwarts weekend.
Right. Scheduled for halfway through January, and Hermione's surprised when Harry's like, yeah, I'm going, because she thought he would want to take advantage of the quiet common room to really get a work on that egg. And Harry's like, I think I really have a pretty good idea about it right now.
He said this, like a liar.
I was going to say, she probably wants him to get a crack on that egg.
Get cracking. Oh, wait, isn't that pistachios?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you also crack an egg, so I'll accept it.
So Hermione's all impressed, and Harry feels a little bit guilty that he just lied to her flat out.
Guilty?
But he still has 5 weeks.
Hey.
That's ages.
That is super ages.
And if he goes to Hogsmeade, he might run into Hagrid. So, I mean, he's
He
just
knows
being a
where
good friend.
He knows where he's sitting. Belly up to the bar. You never heard that?
No.
Yes, I have, but like the way you said, I'm like belly up. I'm thinking like
a dead
lamb.
fish?
I was thinking of like
And
a
then
dead
you-
fish, and I'm like, oh.
And then you were like up to the bar, and it's like, oh.
Well,
Okay.
I saw your confusion, so I added to the bar. All 3 broomsticks action.
He takes up the whole broomsticks, all 3.
Okay, Sarah.
I remember when it was 1 broomstick. So they head out.
I remember when it was a magic carpet.
They head out on Hogsmeade Day, out into the grounds, and they pass
Hogsmeade Day.
the Dormstrang ship.
Dorm
And they
string.
see Crumb come out on the deck in nothing but swimming trunks, and he dives into the lake. I never realized this is probably he worked out the egg clue, and he's testing the waters.
Literally. Literally testing out the waters. But
I
yeah,
thought of
did you
that
not think
this
of that?
time. No.
I never.
Tiffany's
never
my
made that.
Oh, duh. I was like, okay, like he's doing that because, but I also don't think he himself figured out the clue. I think
No,
someone
it
like,
was.
Oh,
Talk her off.
everything
that
was
the
cheated.
only-
The maze.
oh, for sure.
The maze was the only one that they weren't really prepared for.
But I think
Yeah, but
that-
they was
gonna
under the
jinx each
Imperious
other
curse
anyway.
anyway.
Well, Floor wasn't. Floor.
she hit the floor.
Literally.
Ooh, but she did.
I was honestly every time I read this, I was like, "Oh, he's just swimming because he's from the north and he's just doing it." I don't
And
know.
swimming ain't easy.
I don't
They
know.
swim in frozen lakes.
Right, I guess. I don't know. But
It's
this
the
time,
polar bear plunge. He does it every winter.
Thank you. Thank
I was
you.
really excited about that.
You're welcome that.
I mean, I
What
figured
can
it
I
out
say
because I'm smart.
except you're welcome.
But Harry, like my
He's from the north. It's just
no, Hermione
frozen
says
lakes.
that sort of because Harry's like he's crazy. It has to be freezing, and Hermione's like, well, he's it's probably warm to him because it's a lot colder where he comes from. So I don't know.
I didn't realize people were like, "Oh, I'm going to school here anyway. Might as well take a dip."
Well, I will say
I
though,
just
like
clicked to me that why did they do this task in February?
To be mean.
that's what I said like an episode or two ago. I'm like, why are they going in
be
a lake
mean.
when it's cold?
To be mean. I think
But
that's
I do
part
think
of it.
like I agree, kind of. If you do think about it, like that's just another part of the test.
Another
that's, like,
obstacle.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever gone sometimes when I go outside in the winter and it's a really cold day, I can't breathe because my
your
whole
lungs,
body
yeah.
locks up into
Yeah.
my chest and it's painful. So
Well, think
imagine
about-
that in the water.
Have you
Yeah.
ever like gone
Ugh.
into like something super cold and have your breath taken away from you?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what that's
That's
what
why
he's-
you need gills.
Intense.
when you laugh like that, it's so funny.
what?
You like do a whole like you're holding it back and then it's almost like a choking laugh. It's cute.
I process before I decide to chuckle or not.
Like mine's just all open. Yours like is closed and then it just kind of scums out. Does that make any sense?
Scums out.
Scums out.
Scums out. Scums out.
Jokes out, scums out.
I said that about your child the other day. I'm like, sun's out, guns out, because Britta had her in a tank top.
She was a muscle tank.
So Ron here is a little hopeful that Crumb gets eaten by the giant squid.
Oh my gosh.
He's hungry. He needs a little crumb.
Crumb.
he just wants a little crumb of something.
Sarah! Gold.
One squid can't live on toast alone.
Oh my god.
There's so many potential episode titles.
I know, right? So Hermione
We got
comes
the best one.
to the defense again, and she's like, Crumb's not all like what you'd think coming from Durmstrang. He actually says that he likes it much better here.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
See,
Maybe
Yeah,
a better
because
view.
you're here.
like the library.
So, from the book, Ron said nothing. He hadn't mentioned Victor Crumb since the ball, but Harry had found a miniature arm under his bed on Boxing Day, which it looked very much as though it had been snapped off a small model figure wearing Bulgarian Quidditch robes.
I have two questions.
After the ball.
Are there girls that go to Durmstrang, or is it just boys?
I think it's
boys.
boys.
I think it's...
But differing peppers.
So you think it's just boys? Do you think it's both?
It could be because of the movie.
Well, but I'm thinking of
getting into my head.
But they never mention girls though, in
Right,
the book,
but
do
they-
they?
but
They do mention
Coming.
boys
Bo
for
Baton's
Bo-Baton,
voice.
but
That's what I'm saying.
So I think it's all boys.
I think it is too.
because maybe that's also why, like, and from my own experience going to an all girls school, whenever a boy walked by, we're like, oh, "There's a boy," you know what I mean? Like when we were in high school. So like, I wonder if it's like same kind of thing where like, oh my god, there's finally not like another guy. Like I can look at, just saying, view wise. My other question is, do you think that the toys are like Toy Story? Do you think he's like sad without his arm?
Probably.
I'm sorry.
It's like Buzz when Buzz like tried to fly.
Nesbit.
I've been sucking down Darjeeling.
And then when he goes in Spanish mode.
I have a confession to make. I've never seen Toy Story 3.
Oh,
so good.
it
but
is
sad.
heart wrenching.
Again, that's why I won't see it, because I am
Super
a crier.
sad,
Yeah, you'll definitely cry.
but
For sure.
like big time.
Like,
You'll bawl like a baby.
Sarah crying at Cursed Child crying.
Yeah.
You'll bawl like a
It's
baby.
no.
I don't want it. It makes me want to cry thinking about it. Thank you.
Then stop thinking about it.
Think about this. The whole time that they're in Hogsmeade, Harry is scanning for Hagrid.
You don't take much to scan for Hagrid.
I know. You can't really miss him. And after he decides that he's not in any of the shops, he's like, all right, let's go to the Three Broomsticks. And his heart sinks when he realizes Hagrid isn't there either. But Ludo Bagman's there. And Hermione's like, doesn't he ever go into the office?
No.
So he's in this shadowy corner with a bunch of goblins who all look a little bit angry. And Harry's like, you know what? That is odd. It's a weekend. There's no Triwizard Tournament event going on. Why is he here? He looks strained like he did on the night of the Quidditch World Cup. And of course, he glances over and sees Harry. And he has to come over for a quick private word. Like, if I was Harry, this is like the 18th time this guy has said it to him. I would have been like, oh, God, like, what is he going to talk to me?
Oh, for sure. I
now?
think the second he like sees him, and I was like,
Yeah,
let me enjoy my butterbeer in peace.
right.
Yeah.
So he congratulates him again for beating the Horntail. Goblins are watching them. So Harry kind of asks about it. And I think Bagman lies here, as he does.
Definitely.
And he's just like, oh, it's a nightmare. Their English isn't too good. They keep gabbling along and gobbledygook, which I looked up. So that's legitimately a word, gobbledygook, like in the dictionary. Another word for it is gibberish. Synonyms of the word are nonsense. And it's a language that is meaningless or is made unintelligible by excessive use of abstruse technical terms. So just like complete nonsense. And you shouldn't overlook the fact that goblin kind of sounds like gobbledygook. Maybe that's why she picked it.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is the native language of the goblins.
So, like, can you try and mimic it?
No. But we do know from a later book that Harry, Ron, and Hermione hear it, and
Shut me down.
it sounds rough and unmelodious.
Gobbledygook,
And sort of like a
gobbledygook.
rattling guttural noise.
Gobbledygook.
There you go.
Say Swish and Flick on all Potter podcasts and gobbledygook.
I can't.
I'm done. Oh, that was good.
That was entertaining.
Mr. Crouch and Dumbledore both speak this language. And Miranda Goshawk's original The Book of Spells was translated into gobbledygook, which I think is really interesting because
Oh, they
there's
can't use
weird
magic.
laws with magic and like creatures.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here, read about it, but don't do it.
Right.
Lame.
So go Harry. He's bold enough to ask Ludo what the goblins want. And he's like, oh, they want Mr. Crouch. And he's like, we find out from him that he doesn't know where Mr. Crouch is. He just stopped coming into work a couple weeks ago, and he's just been sending in instructions to Percy by owl. And then we also find out that Bagman has finally sent people out to look for Bertha Jorkins, who's
You
still
are a
missing.
loser.
Harry literally thinks, finally.
Thank God
I can't
he,
stand
isn't
him.
my boss.
I know. And we finally get to what Bagman really wanted. He wants, again, to help Harry cheat. He asks how he's getting on with the egg. And he says he feels bad about all this, that Harry was thrown into the tournament. If he can help at all, prod him in the right direction. You know, he's taken a liking to Harry. And go Harry, he's like, we're supposed to work out the clues alone, aren't we? And Bagman's like, yeah, but we all want a Hogwarts victory, so, like, let me help you out. And Harry, again, he's like, have you offered Cedric any help? And he's like, no. And Harry dismisses him real quick. He's like, no, I think just a couple more weeks. And I'll
Good
crack
for
it."
Harry.
I know. Stand up, dude.
He's a quality pooch.
He's a quality human.
He's a quality
a human.
potta.
A human.
So he wasn't entirely sure why he was refusing Bagman's help, except that, he's a complete stranger to him, and accepting his help felt more like cheating than asking Ron, Hermione, or Sirius.
Yeah.
But also, I think Harry just has like an underlying intuition where he's like,
He
Bagman's
just
not
doesn't
this
trust
guy.
him.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't either.
Go bag that man.
Honestly, like if it took that long and Harry knows it took that long for him to send someone out to look for Bertha, like
Well, and
I
I
don't
think,
want your help.
hard pass.
I think with
you're not
Harry,
a good
he's
person.
got like a good intuition where he's like, this guy seems sleazy.
Right.
Correct.
You know?
Sleazy is a really good word for him.
Yeah.
Being sleazy ain't easy, man.
Ludo looks like disappointed and like affronted though when he gets
Well,
turned
he
down.
wants like a boy, like this
Well,
guy. You know
I
what I
also
mean?
think too,
Right.
like
He wants a little
is-
sidekick.
Yeah.
I think he's got some money.
He's trying
on
to
him.
relive.
1,000%. That's what I said.
He
He's
knows
betting
Harry's
on Harry.
loaded, but like he wants to like relive some glory days. I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, and like who better to live glory days with than the
chosen
literal
one.
chosen
Potter,
one,
yeah.
you know? Harry freaking Potter.
yep.
I am the chosen one.
I am
I
the
am
chosen.
Yep, sorry.
We get to see Fred and George again, who come up to try and talk to Bagman, which we still don't know why. And again, he just blows them off, and he like runs out of the pub, and the goblins follow him. Like, you can't run from your problems, dude.
I would not want to be in
Truer
trouble with
words.
some goblins.
Truer
No.
'Tis my time
Yes.
Tis.
to leave.
Okay. Bye.
Like Bagman.
Yeah.
Bye.
We will follow you like goblins.
We will follow you.
Follow you wherever you may
goblins
go. Well, no, you would be following me. You are the goblin.
Is that like a hymn?
It's from Sister Act.
Let's have some yum yum.
But it is about Jesus.
Okay.
Is that him?
Harry tells Ron and Hermione, because he like goes back. He's like, yeah, Bagman offered to help me. And Hermione's like, what? With the next task.
She sounds just like that.
yeah, he did.
She spoke gobbledygook.
That's not gobbledygook. That's just me being horrendous. And she literally was like, well, did he offer the same to like the other ones or Cedric specifically? And he's like, nope.
like that.
Yeah. And Harry's like, no. And then basically, so I'm like, so he wants a Hogwarts win, but more specifically, he wants Harry to win.
A
And I
Gryffindor
said,
win?
Homeboy is a betting dude, and I'm betting that he's betting on Harry. That's my take on it.
Sure. Yeah.
1,000%.
Sick burn.
Because in the future of this novel, we know that he needs money because he was giving away, not real money, he was giving away leprechaun gold. And he's been promising all types of people. And let's be honest, those goblins are not after him. Because I said, here's the thing. Why are the goblins here? And they didn't look very friendly. And according to Bagman, they're looking for Crouch, and he hasn't been to work in some time. Maybe Percy's poisoning him is what Ron suggests. They're not there for Crouch. That's my opinion. I think 1,000% that he owes them money.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do we know this for sure by the end of the book?
I
I think we
so.
might eventually. Yeah.
But here's my thing. If you're a goblin, why didn't you know that was leprechaun gold the moment he put it in your hand?
I don't think he gave them leprechaun money. I think he
You
made
think
them
he
a
just
bet,
owed?
and he
Doesn't
owes
have
them
just
money.
Didn't give them anything.
Okay.
Yes.
That's better.
Otherwise, excellent point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they would know.
Oh,
a mile
for sure.
away.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that, literally, I think that whole thing about Crouch is a lie.
Stop being cute.
I mean, obviously, we do know that he's missing and he hasn't been to work.
Right.
So Ron's like, oh, Fred or Percy's poisoning him because Percy wants the job.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, and so now Hermione's sitting there going, but like, I wonder why the goblins would be looking for Crouch. Like, they wouldn't normally be dealing with his department. So Harry brings up the fact that Crouch can speak a lot of languages, so maybe they use him as an interpreter. You people are smart. That would be a good line of thinking. But I think you're wrong. But
Sorry. No.
points to you for like thinking of, a reason why. So then Ron asks Hermione if she was going to start a new campaign for goblins now. SPUG, which is Society for the Protection of Ugly Goblins.
Oh my
What's up with
god.
these things really quick? Like he should do this for a living.
When I was
Super
first
quippy.
typing my notes, like I read it at a glance and I wrote creatures instead of goblins, and I was gonna make a joke being like, AKA that's my like thing because I'm an ugly creature.
Sarah.
And then jokingly, and then I was like, oh, it says goblins. I'm like, I can't pass for a goblin.
I can.
So she tells them they don't need protection because remember the Goblin Rebellion? And then I wrote Rary doesn't remember. They're like, no. So basically she's like, goblins are quite capable of dealing with wizards. They stick up for themselves, unlike house elves. And I wanted to Google /Pottermore Goblin Rebellions. I didn't find much of anything on Pottermore.
I'll tell you what, if I give you $10 a month, you better put some Goblin Rebellion stuff up there.
I better be able to find anything I want to on there.
Right.
Tell me that Lavender's dead or alive.
Horcruxes.
Give me dates. I want people's birth dates, the year, the time, what the sky looked like,
Fill in
who was in the room.
Tom Riddle's life.
But
Give me
legitimately.
Dumbledore things. What happened with Grindelwald?
But literally.
This is me typing.
So on their Wikia, they have Goblin Rebellion. So we know that there are a series of rebellions in which the goblin population of the wizarding world revolted against discrimination and prejudice towards their kind by wizards and witches. They were mostly prevalent during the 17th and 18th centuries, but even in modern times, there are subversive goblin groups working in secret against the magic. Nope, it's Ministry of Magic, the magic of ministry. According to the Daily Prophet, the historical rebellions have been described as bloody and vicious.
Yeah, not pleasant.
So basically, the first one that we have heard of, it says one rebellion in 1612 took place in the vicinity of Hogsmeade Village. The Three Broomsticks Inn was used as the wizard headquarters for the rebellion.
Where's this from?
I believe this is from Sorcerer's Stone. It's first mentioned in
I have a
Sorcerer's
question. Was there any real battle that happened in Scotland in 1612?
I didn't look that up. Why don't you do that while I'm reading this?
Can internet?
In 1752, another goblin rebellion occurred in Great Britain. Due to mismanaging this rebellion, Minister for Magic Albert Boot, who I wonder is related to
Terry.
Yeah, could be. He resigned. His replacement, Basil Flack, lasted in office only 2 months. Oof. Resigning when the goblins allied themselves with the werewolves. It's a good ally if you think about it.
True that.
And then Facetus Gore, I'm saying that wrong, was then elected minister. And then there was another rebellion that took place in the 18th century and was noted to be a popular one, as Urg the Unclean, a goblin, participated in that one and was featured on a chocolate frog cards for doing so. And it says, today the Goblin Rebellions are one of the most important topics Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry students study in history of magic. And I said that word odd.
History.
So for the final exams during their first year, they have to memorize the dates of the Goblin Rebellions. I hated memorizing dates in history class. Like, I love learning about
Anxiety,
history.
man.
But dates, man, says the girl that's making her own timeline for Harry Potter.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
I'm following.
During his fourth year exams, Ron Weasley could not remember all of the names of the goblin rebels and invented some. By luck, he guessed Urg the Unclean's name correctly. In his History of Magic Ordinary Wizarding level in 1996, Harry Potter skipped question 4, which asked whether wand legislation contributed to the goblins' riots of the 18th century. And it says, given the anger expressed by some goblins, such as Griphook, and about wizards denying goblins the right to use wands, it may indeed have been a contributing factor to these past rebellions. Which I think is like interesting that you can kind of get some of these facts and stuff, you know, about goblins and such things.
Yeah.
And there is a fact file about goblins that we've, you know, read. They're dangerous. They're cunning and clever, which, you know, it's a good thing to have if you want to be kind of sneaky.
So I thought I was going to find something like, because something popped up like super fast.
Mm-hmm.
The Battle of Cringen, but unfortunately it wasn't located in Scotland. It was the Scots going into Norway, because Cringen's in Norway. But there was a battle in 1612.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
I just wish it was in Scotland.
So obviously we are going back and talking about like how they can take care of themselves kind of thing, and they're not afraid to stand up for themselves. Hermione likes to tell the boys who forgot because they don't pay attention, because it's a dead boring class, am I right? That was a bad joke. So the nasty witch Rita is then spotted entering the establishment. She was wearing banana yellow robes. Gross.
That is a sight. Have we heard of that color yet?
Banana. I
Banana.
wonder if there were brown spots on her, or just in her spirit and her soul, because she's gross.
Bananas. Go. Bananas.
Peel the banana.
Peel
the banana. Her nails were polished. It actually said painted, but we paint fences. We polish nails, is what I was taught in hair school. So her nails were polished, shocking pink, which I don't hate, but I hate her. And her trusty photographer was with her. Do you want to know?
Photographer.
There's another title.
I just can't say things. Photographer. I don't know why I said photographer.
I like a photographer.
Not wrong.
So they basically like overhear her as they're like, she's walking by, they head up to the bar, they get a drink, and they hear her talking about Bagman. And she tells Bozo, the photographer, her photographer, which I think his name is funny, like Bozo the clown. We just need to find a story to fit it. After she's talking about like the stuff that he's like doing, like he's acting weird, all that stuff.
You are such a snap.
And I wrote blah. And so that Harry loudly says, trying to ruin someone else's life?
Go, Harry.
So she is thrilled to see him there, legitimately. She's like, woohoo! She's like, tells him to join them, and he tells her that he wouldn't go near her with a 10-foot broomstick. And I said, for all those wondering out there, that's roughly about 2.1 Danny DeVitos. You're welcome.
You make my heart sing.
Whenever I
It
see
actually
something-
translated to like 2.068, I think.
You rounded.
Yeah, I rounded.
I love how it's literally like 2.1 DD.
Yeah,
like,
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
How about,
Film abbreviation.
I was typing up again just
Makes
to
it
make sure.
scientific, yeah.
I was going like, how tall is Danny DeVito? But like it hit enter, not on Danny DeVito, and just Dan. So this Dan guy came up, and I'm like, it's not the right one.
Who is this Dan?
And he was, I don't know who he was. And it says, what did you do to that? What did you, why? Wow. What did you do? I think it says why in the book. Why did you do that to Hagrid for? Or what did you do that to Hagrid for? And her response is basically saying the readers deserve to know the truth. Whatever, Rita. Gross. So then Harry shouts, who cares if he's half giant? There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, Harry. Yes, Harry. So watching this exchange, the entire pub is silent. Madame Rosemirta is over there basically staring at them and overpouring some mead.
That is blasphemy.
I don't know if it's hog's mead. It might just be regular mead. It's pig's mead.
Piglet mead.
So Rita's trying to kind of cover herself, like her mask on her face basically slips a little, because I think she's like, until this point,
a little bit.
And I think at this point she's still thinking
Very
like,
like,
I can get
meep,
Harry
meep.
back on my side, and I can get him to tell me things.
Never
Whatever.
on your side.
And then that
Correct.
goes right out the window.
And she's like, whoa, Harry. She's pulling out her quotes Quill and all that stuff. And she's like, well, how about you give me an interview talking all about like Hagrid, the Hagrid that you know? And basically it's like, would you call him a father substitute?
What?
I can't. First of all,
A father substitute, really, Rita?
No. I know. And then in comes Hermione like a freaking hero. And I'm going to read from the book.
She's wearing Bob's apron for
For sure. She built Bob's apron anew
Whoa.
in Hogsmeade. 3 broomsticks.
She sewed it up, stitched it together.
She built an
Put it
apron
on.
She did.
with Legos.
With her words.
Lego Harry Potter aprons.
That should be a thing. Bob's aprons coming at you. 2019. Hermione stood up very abruptly. Her butterbeer clutched in her hand as though it were a grenade.
Do it.
You horrible woman, she said through gritted teeth. You don't care, do you? Anything for a story, and anyone will do. Won't they? Even Ludo Bagman. Sit down, you silly little girl, and don't talk about things you don't understand, said Rita Skeeter coldly, her eyes hardening as they fell on Hermione. I know things about Ludo Bagman that would make your hair curl. Not that it needs it, she added, eyeing Hermione's bushy hair. And then she's like, we're leaving. And I said, first of all, 1, Rita, don't talk stuff about curly hair. Yeah, don't. Hate you. 2, what does Rita know about Ludo?
She's talking about the Death Eater stuff, right? Probably.
Could be.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Also, she probably knows that he, like, gambles.
Yeah,
Correct.
probably.
3, Rita, I don't like you. Gross and nasty.
Say it.
Gross and nasty.
You gross and nasty.
Don't like you.
I can't stand her. And I just so Hermione is very reminiscent, and I've said this multiple times. She reminds me of me a bunch in this book. The whole SPW thing. She's like so passionate about it.
And I'm over here being Ron, being like, spew. She does spew.
And then now this, her like craving for revenge against Rita that's building right now.
Well, and there's times where,
I
like,
just love it.
I can see her being a little bit of a Slytherin, being like,
Oh, yeah.
you mess with my people.
Exactly.
Watch what I can do to you. You know what I mean? And like,
Because
slime-
again-
She already has an idea
She's
of what's
very-
going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sly.
She might not know what's going on yet, but she knows that something is
She
up.
knows something is not right.
And she's putting her little puzzle pieces together.
Yes.
And the
She
more
ain't
you
dumb.
talk,
And
Rita, the more she's going to just keep adding pieces.
This is why I love how much Gryffindor and Slytherin intertwine a lot. I mean, they're such similar houses, but this is a little bit of a Slytherin thing that she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slytherin, Gryffindor. Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm going to
They-
yell that when I walk out. You know how I've been doing that with my students? The oh, yeah thing. Have you seen that on my stories?
No.
yeah, I have.
Oh, when it was my birthday, I was like, birthday, oh yeah. And they'd be like, birthday, oh yeah. So every time we do something, I'll throw it out there and they'll be like, no homework, oh yeah. That's awesome. So on the way out the door for the last day, I'm going to be like, summer break, oh yeah.
You're cute.
I have fun.
So Hermione is like, we're leaving. Bye. Don't
Peace.
look back. Cool guys don't look at explosions. Am I right?
What?
It's a Lonely Island song. Cool guys don't look at
I
explosions.
thought I knew their songs. I don't know that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pretty. Well, it was either on SNL or it's a Lonely Island, but it has Andy Samberg.
Can you say Zach Galifianakis?
No, I was gonna say Andy, or I think I was gonna say Adam Sandler.
Oh.
And it has a bunch, because if you watch movies where there's explosions, cool guys don't look at explosions. They put their sunglasses on and keep
They're
walking.
walking away from them.
You're right.
So they leave. Ron basically is like, Hermione, you gotta be careful what you say to Rita, because you never know what she's gonna bring up. And Hermione's not having any of it. And she literally's like, let her try. I'll show her. Silly little girl, am I? Oh, I'll get her back for this.
That is a snake.
First Harry, then Hagrid.
That's snake-like behavior.
And then Ron's like, you don't want to go upsetting Rita Skeeter. I'm serious, Hermione. She'll dig up something on you.
What is she going to do?
Well, one, I will say, I enjoy that Ron's like, you might want to be careful, because he's known. He's been in the Wizarding world. He's probably knows her reputation better than the other two.
Yes.
It's a big reputation.
It's worse than all the
It's
other
a bad
reputation.
reputation.
Yeah. She's like, Rita does not scare me. She's like, my parents don't even read the paper. And while they're having this conversation, she's like, I don't care. do it, do your worst. And I do think that like what she does is pretty bad, and I think that does affect Hermione because like not that Molly's her mom, but like Molly's like her surrogate mom, you know?
That makes me really angry about Molly.
Little rough.
Well,
I agree.
we'll get to it. We'll get to
I
it.
agree.
Calm down.
So
Just do it calm.
while they're having this conversation, Hermione is like furious. So she's fuming because Rita is a piece of work. So she's fuming and she's basically, sure. They basically, like the last time they saw Hermione like this, it says, in a rage like this, she had hit Malfoy in the face. So we're in that kind of territory, hitting Malfoys in the face. And so she basically like runs, like she's like fast-paced walking, running all the way from Hogsmeade to Hagrid's hut.
That's a long
like
way.
they describe, like they walk through the gates with the winged boards. Like that's a far, like think of how fired up she is to the point where she, you know, some people might take like that whole walk to calm down while they're like running. Oh no, she gets to the door and she starts like, I'm breaking my fist breaking down this door because I'm slamming on it so hard. So she's like, and Hagrid isn't hiding anymore. He should never have let that excuse for a human being upset him. Girl, I feel you.
Dude, I can get on some Hermione rants sometimes.
I
feel the resemblance.
love her. I love her.
Awesome.
Like this chapter, sad, and then like Hermione and Dumbledore and Harry.
We'll get to it.
Yes.
Let's go. Come on.
So she basically obviously runs all the way back there. And then I said, she's pounding on the door, basically telling them he needs to open the door, and no one gives two sheets that he's half a giant. He's a whole man to them. But their surprise, the door's opened, and it's Dumbledore. And then Hermione's like, oh, my God.
It is awkward turtle to the extreme.
She was like slamming her fist on the door, yelling all of these things. So she's a little bit embarrassed that Dumbledore caught her like that. And then she's like, she tells him, she's like, we just want to see Hagrid. And his response basically was like, yeah, I gathered that. Like, but I think it was like with a laugh, like, yeah, I got that. Okay.
Oh, God. I love
You know?
him. I just,
Do you?
I love him.
I love him.
We don't care who knows it.
So the three peeps enter the hut, not marshmallow peeps. So Fang was very excited to see them, specifically Harry, and it reminds me of when you walk into Marty and Tiffany's house and Fozzie gets very excited.
And he wags his tail so hard, there's blood flying against the wall. That's how excited.
She always brings me a toy.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a quality pooch.
He is indeed.
Is he sleeping?
And now we all turn to look at him.
Yeah, he's asleep.
So Hagrid was sitting at his table where there were 2 large cups of tea.
I want a Hagrid-sized tea. Sorry, continue.
It would probably
Yeah.
be the size of this table.
I'm stoked.
Like I have
me
that
bathe
one.
in it.
It's a tea bowl.
Katie loves her some tea.
It's a tea vat. There's a magical like cocktail book that I have, and it has a drink for Hagrid, but they're like, mind you, like the way that you make it, they're like, this is for a Hagrid-sized man, so it's like large amounts of alcohol. And they're like, here's the one for normal-sized humans, like
That's cute.
significantly smaller. They're like, don't drink it unless you're a Hagrid-sized person, you know.
So no one should drink it?
Share it with people, maybe.
I don't know if it would be very good. I don't remember what's in it. He looks a real mess. His face was splotchy, his eyes swollen, and he had gone to the other extreme where his hair was concerned. Far from trying to make it behave, it now looked like a wig of tangled wire.
Baby.
So then, like, Dumbledore magicked up some tea and cakes for everyone, and I was like, but where did it come from?
He probably
Maybe
just
not
like
magic.
basically
The
summoned
Hogwarts.
it from the kitchen.
Do you
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause you
I know,
can't-
like, you can't make it out of thin
Dobby
air.
probably made those.
But this was my first thought is like, but where did it come from?
From the kitchens.
Okay. I wanted to hear what you guys thought.
The kitchens. It is my foot. Thank
Snuggling
you.
you.
And then he starts to talk to Hagrid, and he says, "Did you hear what Hermione was saying out?" Well, actually, he's like, "Did you hear what Hermione was shouting outside?" And he says, "Hermione, Harry, and Ron still seem to want to know you, judging by the way that they were attempting to break down the door." "Of course we'd still want to know you," Harry said, staring at Hagrid. "You don't think anything that Skeeter sorry, Professor," and I love this, because Dumbledore says he has gone momentarily deaf, basically, and has no idea what Harry just said. And I'm like, yes, these people right here are the MVPs.
Honestly.
Thank you.
Like Steph Curry.
Sure.
Is he the MVP?
We don't know yet, maybe. First unanimous one, though.
Like Meg's
Oh
heart.
my gosh. Right, said Harry sheepishly. I just meant, Hagrid, how could you think that we'd care what that woman wrote about you? Mm-hmm. So Hagrid lets some tears fall, 2 exactly. And Dumbledore tells him more proof of what he's been trying to tell him. There's been letters pouring in from former students whose kids now attend Hogwarts that remember nothing but great things about Hagrid and basically how they'll revolt if he gets sacked.
Yes.
And then Hagrid goes, but not everyone. And Dumbledore's like, all right, let's have a
love
conversation. Some wise words from Tiffany's man, Dumbledore, to one of my men, Hagrid.
Oh my
I also love Charlie.
I got multiple men.
I got so many men. That's Florence, really.
I don't like men.
Yeah, we know.
Oh my god.
So really, Hagrid, if you're holding out for universal popularity, I'm afraid you'll be in this cabin for a very long time, said Dumbledore, now peering sternly over his half-moon spectacles. Not a week has passed since I became headmaster of the school when I haven't had at least one owl complaining about the way I run it. But what should I do? Barricade myself in my study and refuse to talk to anybody? True. There are going to be people out there in this world that don't like you. Bob Short's for them. I don't know. We don't care.
I'm sure there's people who don't
I know.
like me.
There's people, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You do you. The people that love you will love you. What did Dr. Seuss say? The people who mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind.
Yep.
Yes. Preach.
Yeah. Hagrid, you're the bomb.
Hashtag truth.
And then Hagrid's like, yo, bro, you ain't no half giant. And Harry's like, all right, come on. You remember who my relatives are. The Dursleys, like, that's way worse than being a half giant. And then Dumbledore adds his 2 cents in, and he says, my own brother Aberforth was prosecuted for practicing inappropriate charms on a goat. It was all over the papers, but did Aberforth hide? No, he did not. He held his head high and went about his business as usual. Of course, I'm not entirely sure he can read, so that may not have been bravery. And then it was again his other brother Credence sided with Grindelwald, a great love of Dumbledore's and also a great rival. And then I was like, JK, who knows if Credence is really his brother or not?
So here's my thing with this statement about Aberforth. Clearly, Aberforth knows how to read.
Well, yeah, I think he's
So
just
I
being
think this is like, I think he's hamming it up.
He is.
Oh, I agree. It's like I would say something like that about my own brothers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
They would be like, well, Sarah can't read, so. And then, we know that there's a Pottermore article on Aberforth because we've talked about him. We see him later on in the books. He's the bartender at the Hog's Head, and he helps with the Order of the Phoenix. We know he's younger.
Big role in Deathly Hallows.
Yes, we know he's younger than Dumbledore. He also had a sister, Ariana. She's dead. His hobbies, apparently from Pottermore, are goats. His Patronus is a goat.
I like
Do you
goats.
like those screaming?
I like goats.
Goats.
Do you think he does goat yoga?
Do you think he likes
At the
that Taylor
Hog's
Swift
Head?
song with the goat whenever it screams?
Yes.
Could that be
those ones
could that be
just
our other band's name? So we've got the Screaming Roots, and now we have the Screaming
With the
Screaming Goats.
screaming boots.
But yeah, I thought it
Been a
also
minute
added that
since we've had
Credence
that
stuff.
to say that.
Yeah.
The screaming boots.
So then Hermione quietly asks Hagrid to come back and teach. She says, "We miss him, you." Obviously. That's who she's talking to. And then Dumbledore's like, I refuse to accept your resignation, and I expect you to be back to work on Monday, and you will be at dinner later this evening at the Great Hall. And I'm like,
Go
yes,
Dumble.
thank you. Then I said, Dumbledore exits stage right, and Hagrid sobs into his dustbin-sized hands. Those are some big hands. Those are large hands. I literally wrote that in my book. I also wrote good when they were like telling him things. And I said, yes, Dumbledore. Yes. So then he's gone. He's crying. And then, of course, Ron being Ron asks if he can have some cake. Because I was like, what else would he do? And then Hagrid basically is like, you guys are right. I know you're right. And he says, my father would be ashamed if he knew like I was acting like this. And then he kind of like, oh, I've never really shown you. Like, I don't even know if we've even really heard too much about his parents until this book, until this whole incident.
We haven't, yeah.
So he's like, I have a picture I want to show you. So he shows him a picture of a short wizard with Hagrid's crinkled black eyes beaming as he sat on top of Hagrid's shoulder. Hagrid was a good 7 or 8 feet tall, judging by the apple tree beside him, but his face was beardless, young, round, and smooth. He looked hardly older than 11. It was taken just after he got into Hogwarts, and his dad was very happy that he got in because he really wasn't sure if he was going to be a wizard or not.
Right.
Because of who his mom is. And then we find out that his dad died in his 2nd year, so he didn't get to see him expelled from school. And I think that's like something that Hagrid is happy about.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
Yeah. So his dad died. Blah, blah, blah. And then after that, well, Dumbledore, like, even before he was expelled, Dumbledore kind of like helped him because he didn't have anyone. Like, that was his whole family. You know, his mother was gone from, I think he said like age 3, right? Roughly around then is when his mom left. His dad was left devastated. And then his dad died when he was only like 12, give or take, whenever Hagrid's birthday is. And I'm sorry, I don't know it. Do we know it?
That's lonely.
Yeah. Like, your whole family is gone.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I owe Dumbledore like so much. December 6th is his birthday. So depending on when his father died. Well, he probably would be, he'd be 13, 12, 13, depends. Not important. He's like, Dumbledore stuck up for me after all of that stuff happened. He gave me a second chance and the gamekeeper job. And he literally was like, and I like this because he says, he gives them second chances. That's what sets him apart from other heads. See, and like, it's true. And he says he'll accept anyone at Hogwarts as long as they've got the talent. And he says knows people can turn out okay even if their families weren't. And I think that's a very powerful statement.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yes.
I mean, look at Harry right now.
You're not who like your family is. Mm-hmm. Like you're you.
Well, and I think too
we choose to have their
we see later on with Malfoy.
Definitely.
Yes.
Like, you know, he tries at the very last second and he's like, you don't have to do this. Like, you're essentially like, you're better than them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think he's wrong. I just think that, you know, he's a product of his environment. Up. Yes. So I'm going to read a little bit, which is sad from the chapter again. So there's some who'd always hold it against ye. There's some who'd even pretend they just had big bones rather than stand up and say, I am what I am and I'm not ashamed. Never be ashamed, my old dad used to say. There are some who'll hold it against you, but they're not worth bothering with. And he was right. I've been an idiot. I'm not bothering with her no more. I promise you that. Big bones, I'll give her big bones.
I think that's more proof that maybe he does think that she went to the prophet.
Yeah.
Oh, I think. Yeah, now that you guys like brought it up, for sure. So then like Ron, Harry, and Hermione are like, you know, we're not supposed to like know that. And I think that's also just something they're not used to seeing Hagrid in a way where he's like interested in a woman like that or anyone really.
Yeah.
And it says Harry would rather have taken 50 blasted Scroots for a walk than admit to Hagrid that he had overheard him talking to Madame Maxime. But Hagrid's still talking, and he says, you know what, Harry? He said, looking up from the photograph of his father, his eyes very bright. When I first met you, you reminded me a bit of me. Mom and Dad gone, and you was feeling like you wouldn't fit in at Hogwarts, remember? Not sure you were really up to it. And now look at you, Harry, school champion. So he looked at Harry for a moment, and then he said very seriously, you know what I'd love, Harry? I'd love you to win. I really would. It'd show them all. You don't have to be pure blood to do it. You don't have to be ashamed of what you are. It'd show them Dumbledore's the one who's got it right, letting anyone in as long as they can do magic. How you doing with that egg? And he responds, great, said Harry, really great. And it says, Hagrid's
like
miserable face, correct. Hagrid's miserable face broke out into a wide, watery smile. And he said, that's my boy. You show him, Harry. You show him. Beat him all, which he does.
I love me some Hagrid.
Like literally trying to read that not to cry. So Harry really felt horrible lying to Hagrid about the egg. And it really like weighed heavy on his conscience for like the rest of the day and into the night. And it made help him make his decision to check out Cedric's egg. Nope. Cedric's advice.
Oh, check out Cedric's egg.
With the big old egg. It's such a like a sad chapter because you really get to see more of like Hagrid and like the whole, I don't know, like now that like watching Cursed Child, I was going to call it Cedric's Child. It just is like, it's such a deeper meaning, you know what I mean, between like their relationship. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that like he comes around towards the end of this chapter though, and like the way that it plays out is just touching.
Yeah.
Like
It's a good
Hermione
conversation for them
running
to
to
have
the
had.
door, Dumbledore already being there.
I bet
Like,
I bet Dumbledore went down multiple times.
Oh,
for sure. But then, like, the trio showing up, like, solidified what
And he
was
left
saying, and
because
he was probably
he knew that
so
Hagrid
glad.
was in good hands.
I wonder, like, what though? If you think about what I just read, the only thing that Ron says in this whole part is asking if he can eat cake.
That's a good point. We know that he still has those ways about him.
Yeah, he needs to. I mean, actually, they all have growing up to do, but like that's something with this character.
is-
And I love Ron, I do, but he has faults. Like all of Joe's characters have faults, so it's something to realize where he's not the best egg in the bunch either.
But this is one of those stepping stones in his development. You
Yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Even though he might not say anything, it doesn't mean that he wasn't
Thinking it.
Well, this
thinking
is a
it
really
or touched
good,
by this or,
like, real life example of people who have said that they don't understand people who are LGBT. And then all of a sudden somebody in their family comes out that way and they kind of have to understand. They want to understand then because they're like, well, this is my, I don't know, sister. I can't not understand my sister. How can I understand her? And then they learn and they come around,
That's how it
hopefully.
goes.
you two. For me, I don't think I ever knew anybody who was in that community before you guys. I don't think so. But honestly, and
I guess you guys. This is gonna sound wrong. My first. I'm trying to think. Well, because but again,
Well, because
I've
we've been
known
together
you-
for
yeah.
so long.
well, and I
I've
feel
known you
like
since we were
everybody I
14,
know who has
15.
came out after high school.
Yeah.
And everybody who I've met was already out
Well, and like what's not
in college.
not funny about their relationship or anything, but like I remember at your wedding and Katie's cousin's like, so when did you find out? I'm like, I don't know, from the beginning. Basically, I was like, you guys are dating, aren't you? And Megan's like, yeah. And
Well,
that was
that's
it.
because
You know what I
like
mean?
family didn't know.
Yeah,
for a very
right.
So
long
like
Yeah.
that's one thing where like
Yeah.
I've always known, and a lot of my friends are in that community, and I don't know. When I say like it doesn't matter to me, it means like I want you to be who you are, and I'm gonna love and
Yeah.
support you any which way. Like you do you. Are you
Because-
hurting anyone? No, you're not. So
like
why would I
even
care?
though it wasn't that long ago when I was in school, we've come so far within the past 12 years.
I mean, I was just thinking in the past, Katie and I have been married for 2.5 years. And the year that we got married was the year it was legalized in all
Right.
50 states.
Yeah.
Originally, our plan was
To go,
we were just going to
yeah.
have a ceremony and we were going to have to take a weekend trip to like Chicago or New York to get a marriage license because those were the places that were closest that we could do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't legal in Ohio. And when we would come back to Ohio after getting our marriage license, it would mean nothing in the state.
Right.
It was really just like for us. But then literally
Thank
months
goodness,
before,
yeah.
it was the summer before.
Yeah, it was July.
Yeah.
July is when it
I
became
remember when
legal.
that happened. It was a good day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, I mean, but you're right. Like until you have some personal experiences, sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah. I mean, that's how my mom was. Love her to death. But she was not like aware of like the community or how to handle it at all.
And if
because
you're not exposed to it,
how are you going to be?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it wasn't just anybody, it was her daughter.
Right.
And it took her time to come around to it, but she did. And like, she loves Katie as much as she loves me. I think she loves Katie more than she loves me, if I'm being
probably
honest.
true.
But but I mean, she always like now we're just her daughters,
Right.
and
As
it's
it should be.
just totally normal. But I mean, it did. Yeah, I mean, in a way, she was kind of pretty similar to Ron, I think, where before Katie and I were a thing, she may have dropped a couple of jokes about it or like just not understood it or like, it was just outside
That
of
was
her
like
comfort
such a
realm.
thing back
Or it's
then.
something you don't talk about. We're like, why
Yeah.
not? Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
That was
Why-
more so her thing. It wasn't talked about. We didn't talk about it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously now, like, it's come around.
Well, and I'm like the type of person, I'll talk about anything. So like I remember in high school talking to my friends about like not that I was depressed or anything, but like about mental health moms, like I would never have told my friends that. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm like, I literally am an open book. You can ask me anything,
I think
and I'll
that's why
tell
we're
you.
so like we're actually getting somewhere with mental health recently, though. Not really where we need to be, but like more people are talking about it now.
Like,
and
why is that a taboo
people
thing to have a
felt
conversation about?
isolated before, like, oh my god, I'm the only one going through this.
Well, and
but they're not.
Yeah,
that
and
is what you think, though.
honestly, being like a postpartum mom, it feels so good to have advocates out there, especially on the picture perfect Instagram internet, where you see all these moms out there and you're like, oh my god, they have it all together.
This
But
should be my life. Why am I not like this?
and people don't have it all together.
Not even those picture perfect people.
Heck
you know
no,
what I mean?
that's your highlight reel. That is not your everyday life.
Infertility is another thing that's like that too. Growing up when you're younger, like you don't think about it at all.
No,
And you're just like, oh, everybody gets married, and
Gets
they have
married
babies.
and have babies, yep.
And then all of a sudden, I'm 28,
It's
and
not-
I can probably fill up both of my hands and name people that I know that are having trouble getting pregnant, and
Right.
it's like,
Or like people that are having miscarriages and all that stuff. Like it's just it's something you don't think about, and it's something when you're young, especially like, and it's a little bit different. Like because obviously we know it's significantly easier for a man and a woman to have a child than two women because you have to go through all of that. Like
we
other
have to go
things,
through
you know
what
I mean?
what a couple going through infertility goes through. Basically, is our
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
And so it's you think like, oh, I'm young, I'm not gonna have any issues. That's not the case. And there could be someone that's like 40 that gets pregnant like that. Like,
everybody
stuff like-
thinks getting pregnant is so easy, and it's
Do you know how many things have to be right? It's crazy.
it's
And then
a miracle.
yeah.
It literally is
Yeah.
a miracle.
I can't believe there are that many babies in the world with how difficult it is to get pregnant.
It is. It's a miracle.
But honestly, 1 in 8, shout out to all of the infertility couples that are going through it. Like you guys, all of my friends that I know, some of them listen, I think. Like you guys are like the strongest people I know. I can't, and going through that is incredibly difficult. And yeah.
All
I don't
right.
even know what we were talking about.
Wait,
Well,
Talking about Ron.
Katie
coming
has
terms
something to
with
say.
you're not 28.
I'm not.
Oh, Katie has to be the
Bringing
oldest
it
one
down.
on the table.
I'm
Pretty good.
29.
Feel pretty young right now.
There's gonna be a point in time
God,
where
you're
all
basically
gonna
a
be 30
child.
except for Katie.
Only for a handful of months.
Only for
thankfully.
6 months for me. Exactly.
Let's get into lightning bolt. I have one from
Vinny.
the Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We have
well, Vinny
one
also
from
has
earlier
one.
too.
I have one
so we
from
at
earlier
least
as well.
3.
Okay. This comes from Gabrielle Tisdale, and she sent them in last time too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gabrielle. If you could do a scoop on anyone in the wizarding world, who would you choose?
It doesn't have to be a bad scoop, does it?
It doesn't say. So good scoop
You know what?
or bad scoop if you're
Rita
a snake.
Skeeter.
I would want to do Rita
I like
Skeeter
that.
as well.
I would do Gilderoy Lockhart because I want to know how he got his stories.
Magic.
Obviously, but like,
Obliviate.
I'd like to know.
Yeah. Dumbledore.
Ooh, that would
Yeah,
be
like a
good
real one. Like a good one.
Like a real good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 books worth.
Like Credence was mentioned in the book.
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't she find that out, eh?
Trying to think of who else I would do a scoop on. There was someone and then I lost it. Maybe
The
like
trolley lady from the train.
is she a actual lady? Or
I don't
is she
know,
like
or a creature.
I'm not about her
I want her
fingers.
scoop.
I hated
You
that.
know what? I would love to hear like interviews with the house.
That
elf.
was the worst.
Ooh,
Also-
the house elves, like lives.
So someone pointed
Oh my
out
God.
the fact.
Yes,
House
the
elves
real
where-
lives of households.
Someone pointed out the fact that because I had always thought that houses, like especially big ones like Malfoy Manor, had multiple house elves. If we think about Grimmauld Place, how Creature's mom's head was up on a wall, so at one point like she was around living, so they at least you would think that had like a mom and a dad house elf, and then they had a baby house elf.
Or maybe
Were
they
all
just
still
like
living?
hooked up with the Malfoys and were like, do your thing. I need another one.
Barfaroni.
Sarah's
Sarah's mortified.
No, I don't like it. But like I've always thought that like
House elves after dark.
think of like
It's like breeding a pet. Because
That's
that's
true.
honestly like how the house elves are treated. It's not right.
oh,
but
you
they're
mean like they're
treated
bringing
like,
in another house out there,
Yes.
breeding the house up themselves. That's what I was picturing.
That's what I was picturing too.
No, I was talking about like
Alana is asleep. I will
Dobby and like Creature's mom or something. You know what I mean?
I thought you meant like.
I need this.
I'm like,
Cease.
serious?
Stop this conversation.
I was on the same plane as you, and I was like, Meg.
No, I meant like their other house elves. Like they would like breed house
I was
elves.
with you.
Thank you.
But they would still have like I would. Here's my thing. Thinking of like big estate like Malfoy Manor.
Here's my thing.
Oh my god.
Because while house elf number 1 is out there doing yard work and like doing stuff.
Okay.
There's another house elf inside cooking stuff while another one's doing like shampooing Lucius's hair. You know what I mean?
I hate you.
I just think they're like I mean I know they can do magic and real quick and everything, but like can you do all of that in a day?
Yeah,
Cinderella did.
Yeah, for real.
But did she?
She had the
Yes.
help of mice. Don't give her all the credit.
Cinderella.
She also had house elves
All right, we have another one.
named Gus Gus.
From Kayla Fairchild.
How would you have told Harry about the egg if you were
Cedric only
Cedric?
did it, like, halfway.
Like Cedric kind of told him. Like how would you have told him about it if you were
Listen,
helping him
dude.
out?
Part of your world, bro.
You got to get naked
You know
and
what,
have
though?
some eggs and bacon.
I think I would have actually, since Harry did a full solid, I think I
Would have
in order
done the
to
same
repay
thing.
How do
properly,
you-
I think I would have had to say
How
it
do you
straight out.
say it though? Do you just tell them the clue?
I would be like,
would tell him what I
would be
knew.
like, listen, you have to listen to this underwater. Go to the prefect's bathroom. Here's the password.
I would basically be okay. I would do something similar to that and be like, it's gonna tell you we have to do something with the Black Lake, but like listen to them say it because I'll butcher it. Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like when you're
I
trying
like
to play
that.
telephone. Here's the message, but really you're getting it all askew.
I think I probably would have just told him that he has to go underwater. Like I would have.
You just swim underwater for an hour.
No, I would have told him that he has to
gotta find a
listen
way
to
to
the
breathe.
egg underwater, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do.
Would you actually have told him
No.
anything?
But theoretically,
I mean, there's a snake on her hand. What do you want her to do?
There's a snake in her boot.
there's a snake on my finger.
Yep.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Also, Vinny had the exact same question as the first question,
Oh,
so I'm sorry,
really?
Vinny. Yeah, pretty much.
Credit
yeah.
to you too, Vinny. Sorry.
So as we know that this chapter is called Rita's Skeeter Scoop of Ice Cream. What flavor of ice cream would you like to eat right in this second?
Honey hot chocolate.
Honey hot chocolate peanut butter.
I have two because I have ice cream at my house that I would eat, which is a Magnum bar, which is it's some ice cream on a stick with chocolate, then caramel, then chocolate. I would
They make
also,
vegan Magnum bars. No.
but
they
I
do, though.
also would love a scoop of Honey Hut's Orange Dream or Orange Blossom.
Blossom.
Oh,
Oh, it's so good.
it is one of the best ice creams I've ever had in my entire
Anybody
life.
who's
'Cause it tastes
still
like an orange
listening,
creamsicle.
come to Cleveland and go get Honey Hut ice cream.
I think
A friend of mine is married into the family.
I think I need
So
a scoop
jealous.
of chocolate peanut butter from Honey Hut
Okay.
and a scoop of vanilla peanut butter because.
Oh, what about their banana though?
I'm not feeling
You're
it
gonna
right now.
Elvis it and put them together.
Also,
Yeah,
their
I would.
honey pecan ice cream is very
Oh,
good.
it's good.
Oh my god, all their ice cream is so good. When they have honey graham,
Oh,
they
yep,
had it
that's what I
at
need.
Amy's
Graham
birthday
chocolate
party, but I like that's why I first had the orange blossom because everyone
really good.
obviously was going for the honey pecan, and I'm like, I've had it before. I'm gonna let everybody else have it, and I'm like, I'll try this orange one.
Take one for the
Mouth water.
Callie says Mary's Milk Bar. Anyone? That's in Edinburgh. It's so good. It's so good.
Crazy good.
So anybody who is going to Edinburgh or lives there, go to Mary's Milk Bar.
I actually had their sorbet or sherbet,
Sorbet.
and it was freaking delicious.
So they offer vegan options.
You want to
just
hear
saying.
something fun? So my mom loves orange sherbet. I call it sherbet because I like to say that.
Sherbet.
And so what I used to do, like I would take a scoop or two of it, and I always, I always eat my ice cream and such things in mugs because I can hold the handle, so my hand warmth
Smart.
doesn't warm up the mug and
That's a
therefore
good
melt the
idea,
ice
and
cream
melt it.
filter. I talked about this to a wine guy once because he doesn't like stemless wine glasses because your hands will make the wine warmer. He's like, that's why you, in his opinion, he's like, hold it by the stem. Y'all do whatever you want. Drink it out of whatever receptacle if you're of age.
My mom drinks it out of the mug.
I can't drink cold things out of mugs. It's so weird. I can eat ice cream though. So what I would do is once it gets a little bit melted, I'll stir the ice cream around so much so it's like almost like a soft serve, and I swear it changes like the
It does.
consistency and like the taste of it, and it's
does.
so good.
Especially with some chocolate sauce in there.
No, I don't put chocolate sauce on my orange sherbet.
Oh, not the orange sherbet. I
No,
was
it's just
thinking of
orange
ice cream,
sherbet.
sorry.
No.
Are there any other cues from Tweeter?
I'm trying to think if I have
I had
any.
the one and then the one.
The one and then the one.
How would you have reacted if you were like in a Hermione and you were talking to Rita?
I would have gotten mad.
Hermione is literally me in that
Do
moment.
you think you would have jumped up and been like, Bob Short, you nasty person?
I probably would have said a curse
I would have.
and then cast one.
When I, yep, I would have been like Hermione.
If I'm mad enough, I can be like Hermione.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
When I get really angry, I just swear a lot.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of and I try not to swear in general-ish wise.
And I said that,
Like a liar.
Like Harry.
But I specifically try not to swear around my mom because I know she doesn't like it. And she knows when I'm angry, I start dropping F-bombs because I just can't help it. They just fly out of my mouth because I'm just so angry. What would you say anything to Ludo? Would you Ludo him
Get
into
out.
a trap?
I think that I honestly
I don't think
like
the time
for
would have
me.
been right yet.
For me, I think that I probably would have played along with his game and just like let him leave.
Yeah.
He's not really like worth the time and effort in my
Correct.
opinion. So
Yeah.
like
Would you have let him give you any hints on like Harry? I feel like
I don't
Megan
trust
would.
him.
Ludo, I don't think I would, but like I
That's
would
too
take-
much like cheating because he's like running the thing.
Right. That's
Yeah,
a
but
little
he
bit
has
much.
like it's like having the TA giving you the test answers.
I know that's like too
But
much.
Oh,
too much.
But I'm not
cheating.
about to say that I wouldn't go out and try and find clues on my own, like by overhearing Madame Maxime and Fleur.
Would you say you
or
would beetle it?
Karkaroff, and I'd be a little beetle.
Be a little beetle.
Little
Yeah.
beetle
I
on the
definitely,
reindeer.
Little
I definitely
Volkswagen
would
bug.
have taken Cedric up on his offer of a clue.
What if that's what she actually transformed into?
A Volkswagen Beetle?
Like a toy
Wouldn't
one.
be
Like,
as
what's-
subtle.
What is that? Herbie fully loaded?
Yeah. Beep, beep.
Rita,
Fully loaded.
That's what I call Marty's friend Ryan because we call him Herb.
Oh yeah.
So I call him Herbert Van Boven or Herbie Fully Loaded or Herbie Hancock.
I used to be really good friends with his sister. I think she's married now.
That's cool.
Yeah. Any other questions? I am thinking. I don't think I have any questions.
Let's move on.
Fan story.
Fan story.
All right, this week comes from Sarah Chase. Hey girls, I've been listening to your podcast since May 2018, way behind the times. I stumbled on it while looking for something else on iTunes and decided to give podcasts a try. Yep, you guys were my first podcast ever,
Hey.
and I'm not regretting it one bit. Anyway, here's my Potter story. I apologize if it's too long. Don't apologize, ever. I'm a Slytherin.
My daughter is asleep and I will cut you with my
Sorry.
razor sharp mother talons.
And I will strike you like the snake that I am.
Oh my god, what's happening? My Pottermore wand is firwood unicorn hair core, 10 3/4 inches, unyielding flexibility.
Ooh, like Bellatrix.
My Patronus is a ginger cat, which I
Cool.
love because I have 2 black cats, Lightning and
Oh, I
Oh
love
my
it.
god, so cute.
I love that you have a black cat named Lightning.
Yes. yes. And my Ilvermorny house is Thunderbird. My hubby is a Gryffindor.
Yeah, you.
Beans, bro.
I was a bit older when I discovered the books than most of the stories I've heard so far. My sister is 6 years younger than me, and my mom bought her the first couple of books in an effort to get her to read anything. Unfortunately, she isn't much of a reader, but I heard about them and decided to read them instead. But they didn't have a problem getting me to read. They couldn't keep up with how fast I could read Goosebumps books, and I was obsessed as a kid. I was about 15 when I started them, and the first 3 books were already out. I flew through them. I loved them and couldn't wait for the next book to come out. I remember I was excited when Goblet of Fire came out because it was on or near my birthday, July 16th, and my parents bought it for me. I went to all the midnight releases of the last 3 books, and it was even better that they were almost always on my birthday. That's awesome. I found the audiobooks and listened to them at work practically on repeat. They are so calming to me that I just love to have them in the background. Fast forward 12 years, I did my waiting. Still loving Harry Potter, still listening to the books on repeat. I was at a friend's house a few days ago before my birthday, and I met this guy. Come to find out, he has the same birthday as me, same year too. Of course, I told him about my love for Harry Potter. A few weeks later, he asks if he can borrow the last Harry Potter book to read on his vacation. When I went to his house to get it back, something sparked. Little did I know I would end up marrying this guy.
I am into
Aw.
this.
Wait, it gets better.
It's like she's here.
We went on a trip to Italy. He had flown separately from me and had to stop in London. While he was there, he bought the British box set of the books for me. When I opened it, there was an engagement ring in the box.
He's a keeper.
We
That's
decided
amazing.
to have a Harry Potter themed wedding and went to the Harry Potter world in Universal for our honeymoon.
Sounds like me and Katie.
When we went to Universal, we went through Ollivanders. Of course, they chose a little girl to have the opportunity to find a wand. Choose her. Ollivander must have seen the grin I had from ear to ear while everything was going on because when we were walking out, he told me to stay behind. He then offered a couple wands to me until one chose me. I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't stop smiling. The wand that really chose me is Reed with a dragon heartstring core.
It's amazing.
That's sweet.
So basically, Harry Potter is life. And
Yeah.
because of Harry Potter, I found my love. We have a 5-month-old, and I can't wait to read the books to him, and I hope I can show him the magic that these stories are. Thank you guys so much for what you do. I love listening to you, and I feel like I have 4 friends I can carry around in my pocket.
I like being pocket sized. Are you crying?
It's just this really sweet last line. It really is. Sarah, that's amazing.
I won't lie. Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Sarah, you are
I thought
amazing.
you were being like, Sarah, it's an amazing story. And I was like, no, I love it. I was tearing up when she was talking about like
I love it.
going and, not a lot of people can say they've had like almost like a private wand choosing ceremony. And it's something super
It's
special.
really cool. I love that you guys have a little beep too.
Who's now much older than 5
Yeah,
months.
probably a year and so.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Thank you
Probably
so
a
much
year
for
and
your
5
story.
A year
months.
and a half about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are 4
I guess it
friends that you
depends on
have in your pocket.
when
For
they
sure.
put theirs, they gave us our story.
Well, she said May. Oh, I guess that's
found
true.
us.
She found us in May.
that's
So I don't know. I am lying. Who knows how old your kid is? But we love you and your kid and your husband.
Yeah, and
You
thank
guys
you
are
for
cool.
sharing your story. It's
That's
so
amazing.
cute.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Harry Potter brought me and Meg closer together too. I mean, Good Charlotte was the very first foundation brick,
It was.
but then Harry Potter was like the what's that called? Like the mortar around the brick.
Yes.
It just kept going.
I like it.
I like your story.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're
the
welcome.
other Sarah, not you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. So,
I didn't mean to hit it twice.
Swish and Flick can be found on all of the different social media channels. We're on Facebook, Swish and Flick Podcast, or Twitter and Instagram at Swish Flickcast. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just Swish and Flick Podcast. And you can also join us on Patreon, patreon.com/SwishFlickcast, and choose your support level. All the different levels have been revamped, and you can gain access to the Felix Files, be a guest on the Felix Files, join us on Discord live every episode, and even more. You get some cool posters and stickers and stuff. It's fun. Lastly, you can find us on our website, which is swishflickcast.com, and that's where all of this information is compiled into one beautiful little spot, along with all of our merch.
Merch, which we need to put out some new stuff.
What have I been asking for?
A lot. Just kidding.
But what is the one thing I've been asking for a lot? I can't remember.
You're a seer.
A husband for me.
That's true.
What's going on in your life, Tiffany?
So as of today, I have 4 school days left.
Tiffany?
5 total.
By the time this comes out, you won't have any school left.
But I'm just saying, like right now,
I'm just thinking, think about when this episode comes out. You're
That-
gonna be free.
I'm gonna be free as a bird. I'm
like a bird.
I was thinking of like
Fly
Free Bird.
away.
Isn't that how that song goes?
She sang it.
No.
I sang Free Fallin'.
That is Free Bird,
No.
isn't it?
Nope. Freebird is a totally different song. It's okay. Just keep talking.
Your trap.
All right, so school
Anyways.
and not school, go on.
Discovered Star Wars audiobooks today. I really enjoy. There's a full cast doing it.
That's awesome. So
really
it's
cool.
a
With
bunch of
sound
different.
effects. Yes.
That's cool.
Well, but I think because you're listening to the Dooku book,
Dooku
right?
book, yeah,
But
Dooku.
I think that's a little bit different than a normal audiobook.
I don't care.
But they do have like sound effects and stuff. I don't know if they have a full cast on normal. You'll have to ask Bridget.
All right, so I'm doing that. What? Been talking to the people on the Twitter.
What's your handle?
Tiff Swish _Flick. Alana's awesome. She's thriving.
She smiles so much.
He's licking his chops. Yeah, she big cheeses
I
all
think
the
when
time.
this comes out, she'll be 11 months old.
Oh man.
I'm sorry to bring up.
It goes so fast, but yeah, everything is going swimmingly.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool when you're little Miss Woos. It's been a minute since I've sang that. I'm gonna bring it back.
Bring it back.
I'll pass it to you.
Bring it around town.
And then you do this. And this. And this. And this. And this.
Speaking of that, she does love bowls.
She does.
Katie and I daily vlog, and you can find us on YouTube at The Petrus Family. We just did our first fertility appointment with our doctor to try and have a baby. Well, we didn't try to have a baby yet. It was just a consultation to find
doctor
out
was like,
how
"You do
to have a
this."
baby.
They talked about it.
Starting the process.
Right.
Yes. So I got some tests done for some hormone stuff, and then I've got to get another test done, and then I got to get more tests done, and then Katie's got to get tests done. Then we got to do more stuff, and then
You guys are done with school.
Oh, right.
Isn't that what Ronnie said on Jersey Shore about she's trying to test him? I didn't do well in school. Why are you trying to test me? I'm not at school anymore, so I don't know.
I do not remember that, but all right.
So basically, maybe, hopefully, if things go well, we'll have a child in 5 years. No, but really, hopefully we'll start trying next year, so.
It'll be good stuff.
We're fur moms. We're trying to be baby moms too.
And we got an apartment.
I thought with the
thought she was
segue,
gonna say
you were like,
another
we got
cat.
another cat. And I was like,
got-
are you?
I even got excited and I knew it wasn't a thing. How stupid is that? I thought the same thing and I was like, I know we don't have a cat, but kittens.
I just showed her a kitten. I showed her Blueberry.
I need to
Blueberry.
I
Blueberry.
need another cat.
Blueberry.
I need another cat when we move out. And it's going to be a Scottish Fold.
You're gonna get 3 cats.
She already has 3 cats. They're
Oh,
going to
you're
be the 4th
taking Minnie?
cat.
I knew you wouldn't want to. It's not that I don't want to. Honest to God, it's not that I.
You don't
No. Listen.
Listen, Linda.
Linda. Listen. So, our roommate has a cat. His name is Rookie.
Oh, are you just going to make the argument that Rookie's going to be alone?
I'm serious though. I'm scared about it because
Minnie doesn't even come around.
no, she does, and she likes Chris more than she likes us. And we haven't discussed this with him
Good
yet,
thing he
so it
doesn't
could
listen to Switch.
completely flop.
Can't
but
hear
Are
you
you
over
just
your
gonna do it?
hissing sound.
Legitimately,
We've discussed this.
Legitimately, I want to have a conversation with him and be like, I don't think that it's good to have that much change for Rookie at one time because he can't go from having 3 friends to 0.
That's true.
That's what happens to me
And-
every day.
And I don't know if it would be beneficial for us to take the 3 of them and then have another kitten thrown in the mix. That would be even more change. So seriously, it would be good for him to keep somebody that he knows.
But clearly she's our responsibility. And
So if he says no, she's
us.
coming with us. And I'm even going to offer to continue to buy her food and stuff like that if he is against it because of that. I'll just be like, no, seriously, I legitimately think it would be good for Rookie. But if he's not for it, then
They're going
we're
to set up a
gonna take
cat
her.
court in their house, and they'll be like, these are the arguments for, and these are the arguments against.
Hear ye, hear ye.
I mean, I would never.
Iggy
I
will
would
be the judge.
I would never just give up on a cat.
They'll have a
I
little
understand
cat
she's
grab.
my responsibility if it comes down to that. But I do really want to offer her to Chris
Well, that's
as
She likes him better.
she likes him.
Does
she
he
likes
like
him.
her?
He doesn't mind her.
I'm playing with you.
He doesn't mind her. She does kind of puke a lot though, and I think he gets annoyed about that. She's super sensitive. She cannot eat any food but the one food that she can eat. And if she even has a treat, it's gone.
Oh.
Gross.
I don't understand what
Can
her problem
Rookie eat
is.
her food, so they just have that food?
No.
No.
God.
But
well, I say that my dog can
literally
only eat
all
venison.
four.
But you also don't have
all
4
four
other dogs.
of our cats eat different food.
That's too much for me.
Oh no, Rookie and Teddy are the
We
same,
have
but
3 different
we're
foods.
not leaving Teddy behind. Let's be real.
No.
All right. So are you doing the same thing or what?
Yeah,
Are you moving too?
pretty much, yeah.
You trying to have
She's
a
letting
kidney?
me
Are you
go.
going to try to talk Chris into keeping Katie? She throws up a lot, but it's okay.
She's kind of really anxious about everything, but
There's a lot of
it after a
How
while.
about Whimsy?
There's a lot of hairballs involved.
Yeah, Whimsy, me and Meg have our own design business, and you should hit us up on Facebook and Instagram if you got anything you need designed, like invitations or
We did Alana's invitations.
Anything really. Like, you want a T-shirt design? We'll do that for you. You want a birthday party, something? I don't know.
Logo.
Logo.
Yeah, you get
Wedding design.
whatever you want.
I might have a logo for you to design.
All of our like pieces that we designed for our wedding, we're kind of like offering to create for other people if you want a Harry Potter
Obviously
themed wedding.
personalized to you.
Personalized to you.
It won't
yes.
say Megan and Katie.
No, it
will,
won't say welcome
actually.
to the wedding
I
of
think
Megan and Katie.
if you do like a daily profit piece, you should totally put your name in there somewhere. Oh
Yeah.
Or my
And
picture.
Swish and Flick.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They would be hysterical.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check us out. Whimsy
Creative Design.
That's cool.
How about you, Sarah?
So mine's a little bit more somber. So I'm just, I've had a pretty rough week. I've had a couple of friends that have had some issues and everything, and a cousin that's had some, like, it's just been a rough week. So I just want to, I'm not going to go into it because it's not my sort to talk about any of them. Just good thoughts to them is what I want to do. So hopefully by the time this comes out, I've had a much better week. And we'll see what my future's hold. I did apply to a couple of things, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So sorry to be sad.
It's okay.
It was just a bad week
ebbs
and
and
week and a
flows.
half. Just keep your people close to you.
Yep.
Tell people you love them. All that sad and fun stuff.
If
so.
you think positive thoughts, think them, send them.
Yeah,
You give the
yeah.
vibes, send them.
But yeah, I mean, if
I'll
you
call
could just
right back.
send
And if you
some
pray,
thoughts
pray.
and prayers, good thoughts, good vibes, to some of my friends and my family, that'd be appreciated. Well, it's really a cousin, so
All right.
that's it.
Was that
it
for
for me?
I love you guys.
I love you.
Thank you.
Gosh. Is that all for the greater good?
Oh, for
Can,
Voldemort Valor.
can we all agree for Voldemort Valor? All right. That concludes this week's episode. It was long. Thank you so much for listening. If you're still here. And don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice.
Oh, is that so you
Okay,
guys are
no,
both
here we go.
Oscar?
Well, who do you think I am?
Oh, yeah. Who do you think?
I was gonna say Grover.
Why?
I don't know, because he's really cute.
He's the
Sarah.
blue one.
Super Grover.
I always think of
We like watching Super
Family Guy.
Grover.
Grover, when he's like on the phone, on the fake phone, he's like playing.
Grover's constantly asking the most bizarre questions, so I
See?
think that's accurate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I still think I'm Oscar the Grouch. 'Cause-
Tiffany is the trash can. You're Oscar.
Yeah, but like, Oscar.
Oh, I get it.
Oh my god.
God, I'm so funny.
Kelly, I am a trash can, though.
Oh,
She's not. Who do you think I am?
she's probably Elmo.
What?
No, she's so
I'm
not
that
Elmo.
annoying?
Who are you?
Can we be Bert and Ernie?
They're totally gay.
They are so gay.
The not gay couple.
The incredibly gay duo. They are so gay, though. Like,
You could be
real.
Mr. Rathburn from
I'm
Arthur.
Yeah.
trying to think of
awesome.
Sesame Street. You can be that one with the wings. Who's that new one?
I think it's Zoe.
Sam just said Zoe.
Ah.
I'd probably be Big Bird.
What is
Oh.
Telly? Is Telly a thing? Telly?
I think it's Tully, but I don't know if it's
Oh,
Tully or
the big
Telly.
elephant.
No, that's,
that's
Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus.
Oh,
That's
I like
Katie.
him.
That's Katie.
Snuffleupagus.
I also kind of identify with Cookie Monster. One, because he likes cookies. Two, now he like
Katie's
cooks.
like, oh yeah.
No, he has to cook
I'm a
vegetables
Hufflepuff.
He
now.
cooks. Like it's two monsters in a truck. Also, they trust
Two monsters in a truck.
It is.
Yeah, guys, what should we do for our 100th
Yeah.
episode? What do you guys?
Let's just
Merch.
Let's just do 100.
Make you guys work more.
Eat 100 cauldron cakes, 100 chocolate frogs. We'll each drink 100 butter beers and 100 shots of Fireball / whiskey.
Oh my gosh.
What else can we do? We can say
Katie,
Harry's
that's
name
cool.
100 times fast.
I bet you're
Harry
gonna
Potter,
love
Harry
that.
Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter.
So what she's saying is it was both of our ideas.
I just said it.
We
1
worked
second
together.
first.
You were the same flipping
And
person.
we're not. We're two separate people, Tiffany.
Well, then you share one brain.
No, you and I share one brain.
That's
you should know
true.
this by now.
We don't share a brain. We just like have the same personality.
We share like the same like iCloud.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good description.
the same computer, and we share an iCloud.
Oh my god.
Millennial speak.
I just log onto the Google Doc every now and then.
I don't know if I'm ready. Actually,
I don't really care. We're starting.
go ahead. I got it. Go ahead. Okay.
Are you trying to think of who you are today?
It's in that iCloud.
See, same iCloud. I knew.
My computer must not be turned on because I don't know what you're going to say.
Where was I? Happy that he got expelled, but not happy. Oh gosh. I mean, we should just call it Great Balls of Fire, and it would
I'll
be
do
a
it if you
great
want.
inside joke.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was Hogmeads up until this point.
Uh,
Oh, man. Okay. How do I go back into this?